Welcome, welcome. Hello. Wow, what a cold day outside. It's nice to be in here with everybody and playing Battlecode together. Welcome to Battlecode 2016.
Woo.
We've got a lot of fun games to show tonight while we see the top 16 teams duke it out, as well as giving out a bunch of extra prizes. Today we have for you some fun prizes for teams that had accomplished ancillary goals, such as being hilarious. And we also have prizes to give out to people who are sitting in seats. Yes, that's right, that's you. So at some point, we're gonna figure out what seat number you're in, because this is a wonderful auditorium, and you'll see between your legs a number, and that number is your seat number. The challenge being that there's also a letter associated with your row. And so the guy on the end of the row will have to tell you the number of the row, and then eventually we'll give out a prize, and these prizes are great. That's right, based on which seat you're sitting in, you are eligible to win one of 8 beautiful prizes sent by Apple Incorporated, such as the iPad Mini 4 Wi-Fi 128 gigabyte silver with a fair market value item received of $699 US, or the Apple TV 4th generation 32 gigabyte. Wonderful, and that'll come out later. So
sound like great prize.
Yeah, you don't want to leave that seat because it is your lottery ticket.
All right, but first of all, we are going to do a brief introduction of this year's Battlecode game. So direct your attention up to the main screen. First of all, we have 16 teams who are finalists here, and these teams will be playing to determine who will be number 1 of Battlecode 2016. So we have this year a summary of the rules for those who are unfamiliar with the game or those who have forgotten the game after quitting on day 1. But you can go to battlecode.org/info to look at a hopefully very brief summary of the game. So this is what a Battlecode map will look like. You'll have some map where you have little dudes running around and some info on the left. And I'm going to explain what these little dudes are and what the info on the left is. So each Battlecode, each match will be red team versus blue team. Red team will be a player, blue team will be a player. And the goal of both teams is to keep Archons, a special kind of unit, alive as long as possible. Archons look like little diamond thingies, and each team will have 1 to 4 Archons. Each team will have a resource known as parts, and using parts, teams can build various robots to shoot their enemies or, keep their allies alive. Parts can sometimes be picked up from the map, and teams get parts automatically every turn. Archons, the special unit I talked about, are very important because not only do they keep you from losing the game, they also build units, which also help keep you from losing the game. They can build a number of different units. They can build scouts, this airplane-like thing, which is a scout. They can build soldiers, which is a soldier. He has a gun and he attacks at medium range. They can build a guard, which is a unit which is strong but has very short range, melee range. They can build a Viper, which is a long-range unit that can infect enemies with a damage over time debuff. And they can build turrets, which are very long-range, high-powered units, but which cannot attack units at close range. A key mechanic of this year's game is the introduction of zombies. So zombies are a third non-player controlled faction which will go after the nearest unit to them. So each zombie unit will mindlessly pursue and hunt down the nearest player-controlled unit to them. Zombies come out of zombie dens every so often, and then they will immediately start chasing after the teams. So teams can generally choose to either fight back against the zombies, or they can choose to run away, or do whatever else. We'll see what the teams choose to do. But so we have 4 different kinds of zombies. They're not too important, so just note that anything green is a zombie. Probably a better description of the types is on the website. One interesting feature of zombies is that if a zombie kills a player-controlled unit, that player-controlled unit also turns into a zombie. And also, over time, as time goes on, so near the end of the round, zombies will become very, very strong. several times stronger than they were at the beginning. And so what this means is that near the end of the round, it's very easy for small numbers of zombies to destroy a lot of player-controlled units and cause a huge zombie swarm that eventually envelopes one or the other team. So that's something to watch out for. It's very fun to watch. Another thing that you may see on the screen are white units lying around the map. Those are neutral units, which are up for grabs to the first Archon to walk up next to them and activate them. Finally, on maps there are dark squares. Those are squares that have lots of rubble on them. And rubble is a feature that makes certain squares impassable, so most robots cannot walk onto them. Fortunately, units can clear rubble, so they kind of dig through it, and eventually rubble goes down if they choose to continue digging, and eventually that square will become passable. Finally, on the left side, we have certain statistics about the game. There are two bars. There's a red bar and, there are two red bars and two blue bars. The left sidebar for each team represents the number of current resources they have, so how much stuff they have to build new units with. The second bar, the bar on the right for both teams, represents a measure of their total army strength. So if you're curious as to how the game is shaping so far, a good place to look is that right sidebar for the two teams. If one team has 2,000 and the other team has 1,000, then the first team probably has about twice as strong an army as the second team. Below that, we also have a specific count for every individual type of unit on the game, which you can also look at if you're curious. And finally, at the very bottom left, we have a measure of the number of rounds remaining. Each map starts with 3,000 rounds, and at round 0, the map is won based off of certain tiebreakers. And once again, there's a summary of the rules on battlecode.org/info if you'd like to learn a little bit more. But otherwise, that is the introduction to this year's game.
All right, thanks, David. So before we start watching any matches today, we have a word from our platinum sponsor, Oracle. So if they could come on up and everybody give them a round of applause.
Hi, everyone. We are here representing Oracle. My name is Scott Albrecht, and I am a director at Oracle. I think we had a set of slides, and we do. All right. First things first, we want to congratulate all of you for making it this far. It really is an accomplishment. We understand that, the IAP period is not necessarily something that you have to spend doing rigorous work, but you've all done it, and it's also fun. You guys have all worked hard, and you deserve to be here. So congratulations for making it this far. I wanted to say just a couple of things about Oracle. It's challenging when we're talking to each of you to say exactly what it is that Oracle does, because we don't do just one thing. We do a lot of things in the enterprise space. So when you're considering looking for your positions, and we will be at the career fair, I believe it's coming up this Monday, if you have a passion in your area of computer science, there is something to match that passion at Oracle. So like I've said in this, there's a lid for every pot in the organization. If you're interested in operating systems, if you're interested in enterprise applications, if you're interested in big data, if you're interested in small data, if you're interested in algorithms, if you're interested in any area of technology that's relevant in the field of computer science, we have that, and we've got a lot of it. And we need great minds like yourselves. My team in particular, we promote a holistic systems thinking approach to our designs. We're a bit of a skunkworks team, and we all love what we do. I think that that's one of the things that as you start off in your careers, that you don't necessarily follow what may be the first and most immediate thing that's going to come your way, but do something that's going to jibe with what you love to do, because that'll make it not just a vocation, it'll make it an avocation. as a manager at Oracle and also as an individual contributor at Oracle, work-life balance is something that's very important and dear to me and also to my team. Work is not everything. You know, as you move through your career, there's going to be life and family and all of those other things. Those are also very important aspects that at least myself and many of my peers in the management take very seriously. So again, congratulations, guys, and I wanted to introduce a couple of other folks from Oracle to tell you a little bit about what they do.
Hi, everyone. I'm Obehi. I'm from the Santa Clara campus, so it's the Sun Microsystems division. I know pretty much everyone, or most people would think Oracle is just a software company. So they bought over Sun Microsystems about 6 years ago to sort of integrate both software and hardware. So I recently graduated. I was course 2. I did a image manufacturing program. So a lot of people think it's only like EE and CS people they hire, but they do open to other departments as well. Over there, I work with the Oracle x86 servers. Like I said, Oracle is everywhere, and we're also in the Iron Man movie. I don't know if a lot of you caught that, but that's sort of one of the Sun products that was in the movie. So I work with the x86 team. It's sort of x86-based CPU. There's also like the Spark, which is one of our rivals. We basically make 4-socket, 2-socket systems. We basically get integrated with a lot of Oracle applications, Oracle software, depending on the customer that's been reached out to. So we basically develop next generations of servers, storage systems. It's a very it's a cross-functional experience you get from being working on servers, because you could be a hardware guy, you could be a software guy, you could be focused on quality. There's basically a lot of teams you talk to sort of get everything running. My team in particular, QE, what we do is whenever there's a firmware build for a new server itself, like you get updates for your iPhones, for example. So we usually do them very frequently. So basically whenever a build comes up, we basically stress the firmware, load it up on the server. We have all our rigorous test plans to sort of see what kind of bugs can we get early, so you guys don't have to always complain and send those automatic reports that come back and say, oh, this is not working, this is not working. So we do stress that out, and like Scotty also pointed out, there's like a great work-life balance at Oracle. A lot of you might have heard, but there's also like work from home policies. I know some people like Yahoo tried that a while ago, but it's great. Your managers are nice, they like you. I feel very welcome there. They're very open to you. They're ready to listen to you. There's mentorship programs. I mean, there's opportunities for you to grow very well and grow your career. You could easily branch out and go to a different department if you think that's more fun. So there's a lot of flexibility. There's opportunities for people like us, though. I'm new, he's new as well, and they will bring you here. They'll bring you back to MIT for events like this, so you could basically share your experience. It's free trip, too. Everything's covered, which is good. So yeah. We do encourage you. We're going to be at the career fair on Monday, so feel free to stop by our stand and share your resumes and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Go forward. Okay, hey, I'm Nick, and so the group that I work on is Java User Assistance and Curriculum, and the goal of that group is to help people understand how to use Oracle tools and technology. I specialize in Java, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff that that our group focuses on to help people understand like all the things that Oracle offers. So when I was here, I was CMS, Comparative Media Studies. So I spent a lot of time in the game lab, so I made a lot of games. I did a lot of video editing, and I did a lot of writing. So how is that relevant to Oracle? So the way I see it is that, especially with game design, it's one of the things you have to think of is like how you pace and how you deliver information. And so like that sort of background I feel is applicable to some of the courses that we design. So Oracle designs courses for like, there's a corporate audience, and there's also high school and colleges. But the goal is to get people to take courses to understand the Oracle tools and technologies, and you can do this in a live classroom or a virtual classroom. We're starting to do MOOCs, massively open online courses. One of my first projects that I did when I joined Oracle was how-to videos and how to use an Oracle tool. So that's where my video editing background came into play. The tool was meant to give companies analytics on their social media presence on Twitter, Facebook, Google+. What else do we do? We also have, my group also does self-paced online tutorials, and there's a push now into user experience techniques. And the reason why we do that is nobody wants to read a big, thick manual. And so the goal is, how can we take our tools and make use of them more intuitive so that the information is right there? And that's done through, like a technique, for instance, would be like a tooltip or examples or things like that. One of the things that I like a lot at Oracle is that I feel like managers do listen to people and they encourage their ideas and their passions. So I did a lot of game design, a lot of game work here. And now I get to do some of that at Oracle too. They gave me a chance to make a game for a Java course. It was written in Java to teach Java programming concepts. And I'm so glad that they gave me that opportunity to to do something that I thought would be cool, that I thought would be beneficial. And then my writing background, that's where I've been working on like a lot of scenario-based learnings. Like instead of having these like, business, enterprise, corporate kind of scenarios when people take their courses, I try to look back on like the fiction writing that I did and try to make it more compelling, more interesting. So for instance, one of the homeworks that I designed was, okay, it's you and a friend, you're at an arcade like Dave and Buster's, and you have like that magnetic card that you slide through the games, and you have the ticket counting machine, and yeah, so there are those three objects, and like the story was you and your friend are speculating on how all these things work, how they can be programmed, and you spend the night romantically programming your ideas together. Definitely not a business enterprise kind of thing, but very entertaining. Hopefully that'll lead to an enjoyable course. So yeah, I just want to mention that because there's just this huge diversity of things you can do at Oracle, and hopefully you'll find it an encouraging environment.
Right.
Just got it.
All right,
Thank
good
you.
luck out
Okay,
there.
thanks everyone.
All right, thank you, Oracle. And I just want to give another round of applause to Oracle for being a longtime Platinum sponsor for us. Thank you. All right, so we have 16 finalists here, but we also have 2 teams who are here because of their excellent performance in the Newbie tournament. The Newbie tournament is a tournament that is open only to MIT teams whose members have never competed in Battlecode before. And once I can make this work, we will show the last match of the Newbie tournament. The 2 teams who are competing are Foundation and Protoss.
Are we inviting them to stay?
Yes. So one thing we like to do in the final tournament is we would like to invite the teams to the stage. So members of Foundation and members of Protoss, can you come up to the stage, please?
And everybody give them a big round of applause.
So we have 2 microphones up here. One team can take one team can take the other. And just for some background, the Newbie tournament was run, most of it was pre-run, and Foundation is coming in with no losses, whereas Protoss is coming in with 1 loss in a double elimination tournament. So if Protoss is to win the overall Newbie tournament, they need to beat Foundation twice, whereas Foundation only needs to beat Protoss once in order to win the Newbie tournament. So we're going to run this match. While we run the match, we'd like the teams to talk a little bit about their strategy. So we're going to start off, but Foundation, could you first tell us a little bit about your strategy? I know that it's a very unique one.
Yes, so my strategy is very unique, as you mentioned. So I build primarily these scout units, which cannot attack, but they have this. They have probably the best mobility, and I use these scouts hopefully to try to lead enemy zombies towards the enemy archons.
Seems like
sort
it
of like
worked.
that. And so
Worked pretty well. And
if all works out, you'll see hopefully another sea of green around blue.
Protoss, what about you? What's your strategy?
All right, so our higher level strategy is to organize our Archons into squads and wipe out the zombie dens before someone leads all of the zombies toward us, hopefully. But so.
Uh-oh.
How much are we talking about?
That was tough.
So there you go,
All
folks.
right.
That was the last match of the newbie bracket.
So because Foundation came in with undefeated and Protoss already had one loss, the Foundation winning that match means they have won the newbie tournament. So we'd like to right now give out the awards for the newbie tournament, starting with Protoss, second place newbie. And first place newbie, Foundation. Also, we have prizes for third and fourth place in the newbie tournament. Third place newbie was a team named Sour Tomato. If their members are here, they can come up to the stage. We got someone. And fourth place newbie was a team named JKKL, all in upper caps. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it's a great name.
It's always a real pleasure to see new people compete in Battlecode because, you know, Battlecode has people who've done it so many times before. It feels like they have such an advantage, and yet it's so heartwarming to see first-time people come at the competition and they don't care, you know, what kind of odds they're against. They just fight it out. And they can do really well, and we're really impressed with the work that they've done.
I agree. Thank you to all newbie teams who participated, because every team has to be a newbie once. All right, so now we are going to the final open non-newbie tournament, and we're just going to get started right away. The first match is Future Perfect versus What Thesis.
Come on up.
Come on up to the stage, guys. So we're gonna let them come to the stage, and all right, I think that's Future Perfect. Future Perfect, can you tell us a little bit about your bot and what it does?
Yeah, so we're Future Perfect in red. We're going to start by building a bunch of soldiers, and at some point we'll build some more turrets and Vipers. Meanwhile, we're trying to kill all the zombie dens.
So you can see that red team is surrounding that zombie den on the top left and trying to kill it in order to stem the tide of zombies. And what about blue team? What Thesis? What does your bot do?
Well, our main strategy was not playing Future Perfect in the first round.
That strategy seems to have failed, unfortunately.
But what's that backup strategy?
And the rest of our strategy is predicated on turning our entire team into zombies somewhere around round 2700, which probably isn't going to happen in this game. Actually, he's building some turrets. So what we do is we do a surround if the enemy has turrets, and then right around the end of the game, we turn our whole team into zombies except for the units that we need to save, and let the zombies do the hard work, the dirty work for us. And pretty much the rest of our strategy is just trying to survive until that happens.
So we have this red line of turrets that are trying to slowly advance to the right across the map. When they move, they're vulnerable, so hopefully only a few of them move at once.
Yeah, it looks like our team is sort of getting pushed back into the corner there, but we're trying to hold on.
We see that red has a pretty strong army advantage right now, having about 2,800 strength to blue's 800 strength, so he is in the lead.
Well, we're coming up on that 2,700 round mark, and I'm ready with the J key to slow down the match so that we can watch every little piece of action.
So unfortunately, the bad news is that we actually only do it when we have over 40 units, just in case something like this happens and we don't happen to self-destruct by accident. So I'm afraid that we're probably just going to end up running until the last
So blue
few
team
rounds.
kind of getting backed into a corner. Their one Archon's taking a lot of damage,
Yep.
and unfortunately it dies. So Future Perfect wins the first. So all Battlecode matches are best of 3. So they play 3 1v1 games on a different map, and the first person to win 2 wins that match.
Maybe you can talk a little bit about this particular map.
Yeah, so this map was actually made by Nick. I made most of the maps for this tournament, but this one was Nick's. It is called Dugouts. Yes? Yes. It's called Dugouts. And the interesting feature, of course, is that at the start, both zombie dens and player teams start surrounded by a decent amount of rubble. So, but it looks like both teams have broken out of that, and they've moved towards the middle.
Yeah, we managed to grab that neutral Archon there on the right, which helped us out a little bit.
We still haven't managed to grab the neutral Archon on our side, which is quite bad. Also,
like-
we're being killed by some zombies.
Seems
That's
like
even
this
worse.
time, yeah. I would definitely rank getting killed by zombies as one of the worst things to happen. But yeah, so it seems like blue team right now has the lead. About
A little
700 to
bit, but we
500.
actually don't seem to see the other team, and we're not going after them. Yeah, there's a scout up there, so hopefully in a minute we'll start going, oh yeah. Uh-oh.
Blue team going
we're now
after the
down-
zombie dens in order to kill them.
Oh, this is not gonna be good.
Ferocious waves of
Oh, but we
zombies
have
coming
3
out to
Archons.
protect their dens.
Yeah, we have all the Archons.
We're down 3 Archons to 1. We just.
Yeah, but the zombies are going for them, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That swarm may be enough to finish off red.
Oh, yes.
Red team goes down. What thesis ties the match? And that brings
one
us
more
to the
game
third
that we're
match
expecting.
on a map called Rapids. I made this one.
So here's a much bigger map. We're going to try and get all the many resources that are on this map. Our red Archons are moving out into the center.
Yeah, we're a little bit more conservative about collecting resources, which it looks like might come back to bite us. We generally just sit still and build if there's nothing else that's more urgent.
So red team going after the 2 dens on the top left. Blue team still trying slowly to destroy one of them on the bottom right. Both top left dens are gone.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to let the other team destroy all the dens for us on this map.
Yeah, so all the dens are gone. We have a big army from gathering a lot of resources. And I'm not sure it was mentioned that killing zombie dens gives you parts, which helps
Right.
you build your army.
So one benefit of
So we're
going
getting
after
squeezed
zombies.
back into the corner there. It's
we're-
probably not going to go well.
2 blue Archons stuck in the top right.
But we do
Fortunately,
try
they're
to
gonna
run
go
away
down.
pretty hard, so that's something.
We have one more Archon to chase down, and we have to hope that a scout finds it. When a scout finds a defenseless Archon, it sends the whole army chasing after it.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's not good.
unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Nice game.
So Future Perfect wins that first. It's also worth mentioning to all teams that some teams during the qualifying tournament have lost games, but we have reset all losses.
So once again,
I
it's a
believe.
double elimination tournament.
Yeah, so
So-
it is still double elimination tournament, so What Thesis, for example, is not yet out of the tournament. And so for our next match, we have Foundation, who we saw before, versus Zombie FS. Could you guys come up to the stage?
Yeah, a lot of exercise
I think
for you
Zombie
guys.
FS may be, are they here? That's you, nice.
All right.
We have some teams, actually this year we have much more international participation than before. So we have teams from Germany, from Norway, from I forget where else, but we have a lot of teams who
come from
are-
far
yeah.
away, and they can't necessarily be
Yeah.
expected to be here in
right,
person.
that was the point.
Yeah.
All right, so let's play the match. So Zombie FS, what's your bot do?
All right, so there are 3 units that we kind of depend on, which are early game. We build a lot of soldiers to play defensive.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
That
no.
wasn't really panning out for us, though.
Well, that was
And then later we build some Vipers and turrets.
so that was a fast match, and the reason for it was because Foundation made a lot of units which just kind of fed themselves to zombies and turned into zombies themselves. So that made zombies overrun the 2 players a lot faster than usually happens.
This map where you start off like sort of in caved in, same is probably gonna happen. Although I guess they broke out, so we'll see.
Yeah,
what
this
happens.
map is tricky.
So it looks like the Foundation Red Archon has not chosen to come out of his little cage. Oh my. Wow. I must say that in in all the matches, I think the ones including Foundation tend to end the fastest. So next up, we have Team 2 versus Surprise Victory.
So those teams can come on up. I'd also like to hear from some teams maybe a description of their icon
Yeah.
if they have time.
Especially Surprise Victory. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah.
But it looked like something like Donald Duck with an axe.
Yeah, well, we're going to say that there was ketchup on him because this is a
Absolutely, ketchup.
family-friendly stream.
So,
Okay.
sportsmanlike conduct.
I maybe talk about what we do. We start with, sorry? Oh, we are Surprise Victory, and we start with a lot of soldiers, up to the point where we either meet enemies, because we will need other units who are stronger against the blue team, or we are the blue team, so against the red team at this point. Or if every zombie then on the map is cleared, which is our first main task. As you can see, we hit the enemy right on the middle and start to build Vipers, which is a unit which probably is good against soldiers, as you can see. I think our big disadvantage might be the late game, where a lot of Vipers are pretty bad against zombies. And you might, if you watch at the resources we have a small advantage at this point, but you need to look out for the end game, which isn't reached, hopefully, so that makes a win for us.
Surprise Victory manages to finish the game relatively quickly. So, Team 2, what is your strategy?
We tried to have our Archon run away really well, and that didn't work out, so... we also try to get our army to go to the same dens at the same time by having scouts broadcast really far. But a lot of times our scouts just stand still after broadcasting that far, so... we appear to have dug out, and we're
Looks
not
like
moving.
yes, both
so
teams
that's
have dug
great.
out. So one thing to note that I think my woefully inadequate introduction didn't cover is that Vipers are special in that when they attack a unit, that unit also gets infected like a zombie. So if Vipers destroy a unit, then that unit also becomes a zombie, just like it would if a zombie attacked it. And so even if all the zombie dens are gone and new zombie dens are no longer coming from them, Vipers have the potential to turn a game into a swarm of zombies.
And what we call that, if a Viper on your team causes a swarm of zombies that ends up destroying your own team, we call that a Viper backfire.
Yes, it's very tragic when it happens. Okay. Looks like Team 2 ties the match here.
We also go for a hyper-aggressive strategy of soldiers. If a soldier sees another soldier shooting, it runs over to help out. And this backfires horribly all the time, so,
So both Team 2 and Surprise Victory going for the top left zombie dens. Actually, blue team is also going for one bottom right one. As one of the teams mentioned before, destroying zombie dens awards you parts that you can build more units with. So that's one of the main reasons to actually be aggressive and go after hunting zombies.
Okay, another thing you can maybe see is that the Viper has a big advantage against soldiers because it has a bigger range and it's equally fast. So what you can do is just run away from soldiers while killing them, which makes them pretty good at PvP combat.
Looks like Surprise Victory is taking a strong lead in terms of army size here. Both teams' Archon's still pretty healthy, so red team can still stay alive.
we also tried to copy the Duck strategy of making turrets, and that did not go very well, so...
I'm honored that you copied my strategy. I heard my reference player didn't do too well in the tournament.
And another thing is that it's pretty hard to kill Archons at the end of the game because they're as fast as every other unit, so you need to corner them to be eventually able to kill them. That is why we do something that was mentioned before. We have scouts looking for Archons and broadcasting their locations, which is probably the top right, which is our victim at this point. But as you can see, there are a lot of zombies, and as the game continues, they will get stronger. And we hopefully manage to kill the other Archons off with our unit advantage before that happens, because that might turn the tables and cause the game to just have any outcome, which is unpredictable.
So here we see zombies popping up all over the map due to extensive use of Vipers by both teams. And as the game goes on, since there are only 700 rounds left, those zombies are very strong. So actually, it looks like zombies helped to finish off surprise victory here. Oh, no, sorry, finish off team 2. I misspoke. And so surprise victory is going to win that one. And next we have Felix and the Buggers versus B1 with Yuri. I believe B1 with Yuri is not here.
We have seen some of those matches that look like they're going to be one-sided end up in a total reversal, because that team that has map control, that has units all over the map, that looks like they're winning, that can become a weakness when the zombie numbers start to get big.
It can. Holding a big army is not always the best thing in this game. So, Felix and the Buggers, I guess.
Yep, actually we're just buggers.
What?
Well, our program starts building soldiers and Vipers very early, and actually takes some time to build a scout. And it just targets like everything it sees, from dens to enemies. We assign like a raw score to each of one of them, and we go to the one which is, like the one that gets higher score, like raw score divided by distance. Yeah. And we send some scouts also to war to detect where are the enemy units and swarm them.
So it looks like Blue's getting backed into a corner, and the Archon will be going down. So Felix and the Buggers wins the first match.
Okay, now this map is going to be dangerous because we have a cap in how much we want to dig. I hope that doesn't exceed that cap.
Uh-oh. Red having trouble digging in the correct direction here.
Why did that piece of code come about?
Oh, it seems that they dug out. So
Oh, yeah,
it
Red's
might be
gotten
good.
So since B1 with Yuri is not here, I'll talk a little bit about what his strategy is, as far as I can remember.
Although I think we can see it happening right now.
Yeah, so the B1 with Yuri strategy is very unique. It's find a corner, run to it, and then hide. So you can see
They
blue
seem to
team
get stuck
trying to get into that treasure corner in the top right.
But we're not able to find them either, so.
And it's working out pretty well for blue, because right now red team is forced to fight off all the zombies since they go after the nearest enemy. But red team is getting pretty close to the blue army.
Uh-oh.
It's a standoff.
Zombies.
They don't want to move in.
Well, it seems that we've managed to keep them out now. Okay, winning the game can wait. We can get the dance first, or lose the game.
Red team having a little trouble with the zombie swarm. Meanwhile, B1 with Yuri has reached his corner. So now B1 with Yuri is going to build up a lot of turrets, which are long-range defensive units.
He had to work so hard to get to that corner.
Uh-oh. The problem is the massive zombie swarm caused by Red's army may end up destroying Blue. And Red team will win, just barely.
Mention that blue terrain slows you down and dark terrain stops you.
So now we have F equals left bracket negative sine theta over R, comma cosine theta over R right bracket, also known as polar vortex, versus animal.
We should point out to anybody who hasn't seen the game before that the dark terrain is impassable to units, but at some point that can be cleared away, and if it gets to a blue level, then it makes the units go half as fast.
Right. All right, so.
So a lot of our strategy, we
you guys are polar vortex,
a lot.
right? You guys are polar vortex?
Yeah.
Okay.
We strategized a lot about our team name, so I'd like to explain it briefly. It's a vector field called the vortex, and it's in polar form, so polar vortex. Okay.
Very clever.
My team name is Animal. Last year it used to be Animals because we had 2 people, and now I'm just down to 1. Our strategy, I think, is probably similar to theirs. We build soldiers and Vipers, and also some turrets.
So we build soldiers and vipers as well. And a special thing we do is you see our soldiers will try to stay at a turret range, except it only works when a scout sees them, so that's why they just ran into that other turret. But here, Jonah can talk about our strategy to counter turrets.
Oh yeah, we use a method we call crunch. So we stay outside of the range of turrets that are identified by our scouts, and then once we reach a predetermined critical mass, we kind of blindly move everything in on them. And that's the crunch.
So Polar Vortex winning that first one.
So we spent a lot of time working on our Archon retreat code. So that's what you saw there. Our Archon was kind of able to get out of a tight place near the end. So here our soldiers are going to try to get to that nearest den, except the problem is there's a lot of rubble in between them and the den. So they might be stuck there for a while.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good place to be in. But so blue team also hasn't left that little starting enclosure. Oh, it seems like red team got out.
So yeah,
blue team's also gotten out, going after the dens near the top.
Yeah, so in earlier scrimmages, we would often lose to like a zombie rush, and so we try to clear our side of the dens first, which is why we initially dug toward the nearest dens. But now we're, as the other side was closer and we see a neutral Archon, we're gonna try to go and activate it as our scouts like actively guarding it.
So since blue has activated and claimed a neutral Archon, he now has 2 Archons to red's single one. And that'll help him out a little bit with healing his units and other things. Looks like big zombie swarm is forming. One of blue's Archons is trapped on the top.
Looks like it'll come down
Still
to
has
who
one
can
left.
run away better once again.
Second blue Archon getting trapped. Oh. And Polar Vortex's Archon survives just a little longer.
Next up, we've got Big Swinging Deeks versus Hags.
All right, so Deeks, what's your bot do? How does it work?
So basically, our strategy is very similar to a lot of the other strategies. We start by building soldiers. We try to hit all the zombie dens, see if we can eliminate all of them. We also build a couple vipers. These are mostly just to defend against other teams from attacking us. And then after we destroy all the viper dens, our goal is to skirmish with the other team with our vipers, kind of whittle them down with them, because vipers are very effective against a lot of the other units. And then eventually start a zombie apocalypse that we'll run away from and will engulf the other team.
We also build soldiers and vipers, and we primarily try to stay in one big swarm so that we have strength in numbers. And we back away from the opponent when attacking so that they have to move towards us, and then we can attack them while they're moving, because there's more delay for moving than attacking. So I think that's why head-to-head combat is good for us against certain teams. And we also use scouts to go around the map and find zombie dens, which we've destroyed. I think, yeah, there's none left. And we also use them to find enemy Archons and swarm towards them.
So Hags, I noticed that one of your team members is looking a little ashen-faced today.
No, yeah, I'm really glad I could make it today and that I didn't have to go to my frat's mandatory retreat. Yeah.
So Hags wins the first one in a very close match.
Well, it's good to hear that everybody's okay.
Now, the second match on bunkers, red team comes out immediately, burrows through that relatively thin wall.
It almost looked like they knew that that was the key to getting out, but at the same time, they didn't actually go out.
So yeah, now we're...
Well, they're out
we
now.
went
Red
after
team.
the neutral Archon.
Yeah, it looks like we go and activate that neutral Archon, so hopefully that will lead to an
Oh wait,
advantage later on.
oops.
Red team claims the first neutral Archon, putting them up in terms of Archon count.
Press D.
I've been instructed to press D. Ooh, it looks cool. Anyway, so blue team also activated one neutral Archon. Archons are important for a lot of reasons. First of all, having 0 Archons means you lose. which is very important. But also, even if you don't lose, if the game reaches 3,000 turns, then it goes to tiebreakers. And one of those tiebreakers is how many Archons you have left. And another one of those tiebreakers is how healthy the Archons you have left are. So it's very important to keep your Archons in healthy shape and make sure they don't die. We have red team and blue team skirmishing a little. Red team up a little bit in terms of,
we might get cornered
that
here.
happened way too fast for me to process, but I think it was rampant use of Vipers that caused a big zombie swarm. But Hags is going to win that second match. And next we have Mid-High Diamonds versus Super Cow Powers. I know that Super Cow Powers is unfortunately unable to make it from, like, Norway. I don't blame him.
It can be tough to visit the U.S. on short
Oh
notice.
yeah, especially when we only tell you like a day in advance.
Yeah, we tell them like 1 day in advance.
It's pretty crazy.
Worst time to buy plane
I'm surprised
tickets.
that we have as many people here from non-U.S. countries as we do.
Yeah, hi, so we're Mid-High Diamonds. We're all Battlecode veterans, I guess. One thing about Super Cow Powers, who isn't here, as the dev said, it's a one-man team from Norway. He's actually also the author of the best StarCraft bot currently, so it's kind of scary to have to play him. But we're in red here, so we primarily make soldiers and vipers, which is also sort of true for Super Cow Powers, but it appears that he makes slightly less vipers than we do. So we're in the top left. All of the dens have now been cleared, so there's going to be no zombies spawning from the map except for what the vipers make. So we're in the top left, just collecting parts. It looks like we have a pretty sizable army advantage, so now it's just a matter of surviving any zombies that we create and hunting down the Archons. So you can see that the zombies, as people have said before, the zombies get stronger as the game goes on. So right now we're not really having a problem with it, but if we're not able to kill Blue's Archons in time, it could be a problem in the future. So a little bit about our behavior. Our soldiers and vipers first prioritize killing all the dens, and our Archons prioritize picking up neutral units and picking up parts. And after all the dens are gone, our soldiers and vipers just swarm around the Archon. And if we see enemy units, we send a basic signal. So basically, our army units will tell all of the units around them that there's an enemy around them, and they'll rally to that enemy. So it looks like we haven't been able to track down the blue Archon hiding on the right yet, but we're getting there.
So it looks like red team has held the advantage for about 1,000 rounds, trying to hunt down the last, or the only blue Archon.
Yeah, so it looks like, so as the dev said before, one of the tiebreakers is Archon health. It looks like that we have a slight edge there, so even if we aren't able to kill them, as long as we don't take any further Archon damage, I think we'll still win. But it looks like we found the Archon now,
And blue's
as
Archon
did the
has gotten
zombies.
stuck. Red team will
And there
surely
we go.
kill that.
So we took the first
and
game.
Mid-High Diamonds takes one match. I have now been instructed to press D again and turn off that continuous movement for whatever reason.
As you can see in that last game, we don't have anything to like track down Archons like some of the other people did. A little bit about like the micro stuff we did. I think a lot of teams did this, but maybe some of the audience members don't know. But a lot of the battles are like Viper soldier versus Viper soldier. So one thing we do is when a soldier knows he's going to die, he starts like running to the opposing team so that he'll turn into a zombie and hopefully hurt them instead of us. Other things we do are like when we're deciding if we want to shoot a zombie or not, we like test around a zombie to see if that zombie is like actually attacking the enemy instead of us. So we don't attack the zombie if it's like actually a good zombie. Things like that. This map is kind of weird, so hopefully we don't do anything too stupid.
This map is indeed a bit unusual. Blue team has activated one Archon. Red team seems like it's passed by that neutral Archon on the left. It doesn't.
We supposedly prioritize neutral Archons, but
perhaps it just didn't see it.
I guess not.
But we have blue team kind of getting swallowed up by zombies in the bottom right. Still has a good army. Red team slightly up. And the teams are getting pretty close to each other, so we might see some. Actually, it looks like blue soldiers are tunneling down towards the dens. Uh-oh, blue is getting trapped.
Go for it.
Blue team loses one Archon, second Archon gets trapped and also goes down. Mid-High Diamonds wins 2-0. And that brings us down to Coded Belt versus the Simple Soldier.
To people who are seeing Battlecode for the first time, it might seem strange that a ball of units of one team is not finding the ball of units of the other team, but really each unit only has a fairly limited sight range. So it's actually quite hard to just explore the whole map and know what's going on everywhere.
Exploring is actually very difficult, especially since units don't have shared vision, which means that one of my red units doesn't see everything that the other red unit does. So effective use of the messaging system is necessary in order to communicate. But enough about that. Coded Belt, tell us about your bot.
Well, I build soldiers and vipers in like a 4-to-1 ratio, and I run towards enemies. That's about it.
Very concise. How about Simple Soldier? It looks like you have more of a defensive or turret, or at least turret-focused strategy.
Yeah, so we try to use the zombies to kill the other team with scouts. And then with the rest of our parts, we try to build a lot of turrets and then move into a corner to defend when the enemy attacks and hope that the zombies can finish off the other team.
Looks like
You might have noticed my Archon isn't very good at running away.
a lot of red units have gotten destroyed by blue turrets and zombies. So blue team is up in terms of army count. He has a good number of turrets. And one thing to keep in mind about turrets is that when you have a decent sized ball of them, it's very difficult to break through that defensive line. So Simple Soldier takes the first game.
Now, one thing I noticed is that Simple Soldier doesn't build scouts. Usually you need scouts to tell the turrets where to shoot. Can you comment on this choice?
Well, occasionally we build scouts. I think they died in that one. But we also look for enemy message locations, and we use those for a lot of our targeting so we don't even have to communicate ourselves.
So the reason you would have to tell a turret where to shoot is because the turret's range is so long that it can't see everywhere it can shoot. Sometimes a blue team has gotten trapped in the corner. That's going to be bad for him. And Coded Belt will win and tie the match.
That is one rough map right there.
That map is quite difficult.
I hate it when I get stuck in the dugout.
I know, especially when there's zombies coming after you. Simple Soldier and Coded Belt both working on trying to get zombies down first. Not really moving towards each other yet. Simple Soldier has discovered one den in the top right, and is going after that. Looks like red team is having a little bit of trouble with the zombie spawns. Uh-oh. And Simple Soldier will win the third.
Sponsor talks. So we've watched 8 of the finals matches, and we've gotten through the entirety of round 1. We saw a lot of great matches, and we'll take a short break from that by hearing from D.E. Shaw.
So first of all, congratulations to all the teams that have made it this far. My understanding is this is an especially challenging competition this year, and it's been interesting seeing the strategies so far, and I expect we'll see some more novel strategies as it goes along. I also really enjoy the final rounds because the devs figure out we have one tricky map this round, but I'm expecting to see something truly evil for the final round, and I hope I'm not going to be disappointed. So as was mentioned, I work for a company called D. Shaw. We're a hedge fund, or in the slightly wordier form that we often like to use, we're a global investment management and technology development firm. So there's a bunch of extra words. The reason why we like to use them, I hope will become a little bit more apparent as I speak on. So we we're one of the pioneers in what's called statistical arbitrage investing. It's part of the quantitative investment space. And the basic idea of that type of strategy is that you both buy and sell stocks or other instruments so that the effects of the market, if the market goes up by 10%, you don't make any money, but you also don't lose any. And also if it goes down, you don't make or lose any money. But what instead you're investing in is differences in relative values of companies or other instruments. And as long as you're right in those predictions, then that's where you make your money. And in order to do this effectively, we knew that we needed to develop expertise in several areas. So one is in modeling. We're trading on these models. We knew that we needed to make rigorous models, have some cleverness in them to be able to find these extra effects that most of the market isn't concentrating on. And in addition to that, because so many instruments get traded, we needed to be able to automate this trading and have that automatic trading be able to be competitive in an environment where we're playing against humans who are also doing the trading and are able to adapt and think like humans are able to do. And so this was our core business starting out there, but it didn't take very long for us to realize that there are a lot of opportunities outside of sort of the stat arb and kind of core quant space where we could leverage those capabilities that we had developed. And so we have expanded into other types of quantitative strategies and even into some more traditionally qualitative strategies as we've gone along. And again, we take a kind of analytical as well as a technical approach to this investing. As one example of the ways that we've broadened out is broadened into much shorter term trading as well as much longer term trading, where kind of the longest term trades that at least publicly are known about are ones that are multi-decades long in clean energy, building solar and wind farms, things like that. As well as, again, our core business of sort of short and mid-term trading with a quantitative bent. A couple of things that I think are very beneficial about the approach that we take of trying to diversify our approaches are, first, while I in my day-to-day work, I work in a group and focus on a particular set of areas, and most of my good ideas, or at least most of the ideas, whether or not they're good, are going to be related to that group. But sometimes I might have some ideas that are good for another group, and since we have so many different ways that we're able to invest, that idea has a way of being able to be used, if not by my own group, by another group. And so we're able to set up a collaborative environment where we care about the success of the firm and ultimately the success of our investors who are letting us use their funds to help grow them. And so that's one way in which having a lot of different opportunities that we manage works out well. Another way is at different times, different parts of the market are more attractive and become more and less attractive. And by being able to deploy capital in many different ways, we can shift those resources around to the areas that are most profitable at any point in time. So those are a couple of things that I really like about the approach that we take. As you might guess, we're actively recruiting both for summer internships as well as for full-time opportunities. If you're interested in either knowing more about us or interested in a position with us, you're welcome to come talk to us after the competition or visit our website at deshaw.com. Thank you very much, and best of luck for the rest of the rounds to everybody here and for an exciting rest of the competition.
All right, everybody. Next up, we're going to hear from Cruz. Come on up.
Okay, what's up, guys? My name is Kyle Vogt. I'm an MIT alum. I'm the CEO of Cruise, which is one of your sponsors tonight, so that's why they let me stand up here and talk. And most interestingly, a former Battlecode contestant. That was about 10 years ago, though. But as a former Battlecode contestant, I want to say thanks to the organizers, thanks to the contestants, and thanks to the other sponsors for keeping this MIT tradition alive. I mean, it's really cool. I had so much fun working on it, and I'm really proud to be continuing this tradition for more people in the future. Before starting Cruise, I was the founder of another company called Twitch, which I'm sure many of you know, that company. We used to use it to stream this event live to people who couldn't make it, but you guys have your own thing now. That's fine. That's fine. I wanted to say thank you to the members of the MIT community who watch all sorts of stuff on Twitch, like StarCraft and Dota 2 and whatever it is. I was looking at the numbers like a couple years ago, and the viewership here is off the charts. It's not just that, but it's all between midnight and 4 a.m. So you can be proud of that if you want to, whatever. So I want to tell you a little bit about Cruise. We're a small team of about 40 people in San Francisco, and we're quietly building the world's best driverless cars. This is really important stuff. And so I want to show you a quick video of some of the stuff we've done lately. Can I play that? Maybe. Well, there goes all the fun. Okay, well, maybe not. Okay, anyways, as you can imagine, building software for driverless cars is probably the closest thing you've done to Battlecode, or is the closest you can get to Battlecode. The analogies are kind of obvious. In driverless cars, you have fleets of autonomous vehicles that are communicating with each other over wireless networks with limited bandwidth. You've got to navigate through complex environments and avoid obstacles and other people, and deal with, I guess you could call it like an enemy AI, which is like the other drivers on the road. The objective is kind of flipped. The goal is not to kill them, though. So you're doing that here, which is a cool project. I think it's great to sort of show your stuff when it comes to algorithm development and software development. I have some great prizes here. If you like doing this kind of thing, you could be doing it at Cruise, except you get paid a lot. And if you write a really good algorithm, you could actually be responsible for saving lots of lives. You can probably guess this, but 90% of car accidents are caused by human error. Not the cars failing or something like that. It's the idiots behind the wheel that are crashing these things. And it's not really a surprise, because we let 16-year-old kids drive these 5,000-pound cars at 80 miles an hour on the highway, and they're texting, they're emailing, they're Snapchatting, whatever it is these days, and certainly not paying attention to the road. I think it's kind of atrocious that that's the world we live in today. At Cruise, we think we could do a lot better, and you could be a part of that. So the day-to-day working at a company like Cruise on self-driving cars is a lot like Battlecode, I think. We work really hard, we work long hours, we build amazing things with a small number of people, and it's stuff we're really proud of, and that I think we'll be proud of for the rest of our lives. I think at Battlecode, you have something special here right now, which is that you're working with really bright people on really hard problems, and they care about it. They're working like crazy. And believe it or not, it's actually hard to find that kind of stuff outside MIT in the corporate world, if that's what you're looking for. It's just a day job kind of thing. But if you're really passionate about these kinds of things and you want to work with smart people on really, really hard problems, you should come join Cruise. So thank you tonight for letting me come up here and speak, to watch this event, to the organizers, the contestants, and enjoy the show. Also, can we try to play that video? Do you know if that's in there? Okay. I think it's embedded. Okay, well, find me after, or Richard, or anyone else at the Cruise booth, and we'll show you that cool video. It's pretty neat. All right, thank you.
Okay, and with that, we're ready to go back to watching Battlecode matches. We're going to see the rest of the finals matches up until the top 4. So here we are with Future Perfect versus Foundation.
So once again, we'd like to ask the teams to come to the stage. You've told us about how your bot works, but if you see anything interesting that you'd like to tell us about, then feel free. So again, we have the patented Foundation strategy of build only scouts.
So we're future perfect again in red, and we're quite scared of playing Foundation, especially on this map.
Yeah, so again, I'm starting off by building a bunch of scouts, leading them sort of towards the bottom left. We'll see how it goes.
So far, we're cleaning these zombies up, which really surprises me, but we have to worry about the fact that they're getting stronger over time.
So in a way, Foundation is also the most pacifist player, because none of his units ever actually attack.
We've caught one of their Archons. Oh, not anymore.
So yeah.
Okay, maybe we've caught it again.
So with the slow rate of zombies appearing, it looks like I'm not doing too well in this match. And I'll probably be gone shortly unless I'm at a very big part disadvantage. Or
Future perfect
We've
taking
got
care of the
one more
zombies.
Archon to bring down in the bottom right corner.
Future perfect manages to survive against the zombies here. So let's see if Foundation can turn this around on this new map.
I see this map is called Oreos.
Yes, so since we've moved to a new stage of the bracket, we now use new maps. And this map is Oreos.
So we've taken out one zombie den. Our Archon is now kind of in trouble with all these zombies surrounding it, so this looks pretty bad.
yeah, so this is a little bit smaller map, and there appear to be a lot more zombies on this map, which is a good thing for my team.
One hope is that we're currently collecting some parts, which may help us build an army to fend these zombies off. But we're not out of the woods yet.
So we have one,
Looks like
one
their
blue
Archons are
Archon
having some
straying a little
problems
too
with
close
zombies
to the
too.
red army, going down in the bottom left. Actually, the other two blue Archons are also going into the red army, and unfortunately, they fall to the red team.
It's just that it seems that some maps really favor that Foundation strategy, others not so much.
Absolutely. And the schedule of what zombies are going to spawn and how many are going to spawn on each map is available for the contestants, so they can develop strategies revolving around that. So now we have Surprise Victory versus Felix and the Buggers. Surprise Victory has pulled a very slight army lead at the start.
Yeah, we're sad. I think we got all the underseeded teams in our branch.
Looks like
it doesn't
that,
seem very good.
that advantage by red team is growing larger here.
Hopefully, there is a zombie apocalypse and wipes out everything.
So we had a lot of training matches against Felix, and they're basically the reason we switched to building an insane amount of Vipers in the mid-game. So typically our games now end in a zombie apocalypse, and it's totally random who will win. But this seems to be going well for us.
Well, it doesn't seem random now.
One blue Archon has gotten caught in the top right. Another blue Archon is getting pinned down by zombies in the bottom right. So that leaves blue team with only one Archon remaining.
His team seemed to stand there and not provide any assistance.
Yeah, isn't that they didn't want to get in range of the ranged zombies, and they didn't even defend the Archon? They let him die.
And in this game you see that we're also building turrets, but it's normally only happening if we have enough units. So after 50 units we start building turrets. So it rarely happens that there's any game where we build this.
Blue's down to essentially a single low health
Come on, run Archon.
And red scouts see him, so the red army is moving forward. Blue Archon is so low.
Blue Archon, run.
Run, stop building units.
Yeah, you're
Run.
doing good.
Uh-oh. Barely has a health bar left.
Oh no.
But the
It's
round
getting longer
counter
than-
is also ticking down. So the zombies are getting stronger and stronger now.
Uh-oh.
The zombies finish off Felix and the Bugger. So Surprise Victory wins the first match.
So the reason it takes so long for us to take down the enemies in the end is because our Vipers always spawn zombies, and then we're kind of playing securely and killing them first and going back. So it's really, really hard for us to do the finishing move, even though our scouts also try to broadcast the enemy Archon locations.
Red team takes out 2 dens on the bottom right.
As you can see, we don't like dens. Like, why do we need to clear the dens?
I think something I've noticed over the...
Oh, but they changed their opinion. Now they're going to the den. Okay.
Something I have noticed over the tournaments is that not many teams do like zombie dens. They're not a crowd favorite. But blue team destroys the last den on the map, so now it's just going to be up to player teams versus player teams, with the exception of Viper-created zombies.
So far we have a big army advantage, but we have to see if we can turn this into a victory.
It's a surprise victory.
Red team up quite a bit, 3,600 to virtually nothing on blue team. So the question is whether Surprise Victory is going to be able to hunt down those Archons and destroy them. Looks like 2 blue Archons get caught in the corner. Oh, blue is down to 1 Archon, which is going to fall. Surprise Victory is going to win 2-0.
Should we?
Now we have Polar Vortex versus Hags.
So something else about our strategy is actually up until the seeding tournament, we ran a bot that only built turrets and scouts. And it was thanks to a team called #Trump2016 that showed us that our bot actually sucked. And also thanks to our snowstorm in Northern Virginia for giving so many snow days to code a new bot entirely.
We'd like to thank the Polar Vortex for giving us days to work on our bot. It looks like we have an army advantage here, so the question will be whether we're able to finish off their Archons. And it looks like when we ever see an enemy Archon, we broadcast and we all run to that location, so it looks like we're able to find them in the corner. There's still 1 Archon left, so we'll see if we find that with the scout.
Our Archons are really good at running away, which is something that helped us through the very first sprint tournament. But we don't have many soldiers, so yeah.
It looks like we're trying to corner their Archon, but it is running away pretty effectively.
Blue team Archon getting to very low health. Oh, the lone soldier chases him down.
One special feature of our Archon is that it picks up parts. We would like to thank Max for this, since he was so annoyed at all the teams not picking up parts during the seeding tournament. So, there's a lot of parts on this map, so hopefully we pick them up.
Oh, nom, 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 nom.
While we're on the topic
Only
of
eating the cream
Archons,
of the Oreo.
our Archons actually use a kind of interesting runaway code. So instead of picking the nearest enemies, we actually weight the tiles around us, and we use that to actually avoid corners and walls. So we have a preference towards running away in a straight line and actually staying within allied attack radius so they can defend us. Defending our Archons is something that Eli helped implement.
Yeah, so we actually always try to keep a few soldiers near our Archon, being that if a bunch of zombies come at us, the soldiers can kind of distract the zombies while our Archon is able to run away. But it looks like they built up a pretty big army advantage, partially due to our Archon at the beginning. I don't know if you saw, it ran up and got cornered because it was trying to get those parts, and then it got scared of the enemy. So hopefully we can build up an army with only 2 Archons.
So blue team up by about 1,200 army strength, but his Heg's team is forming a mosh pit on the
Looks
top
like
right.
both teams have lost an Archon, but they still have a bigger army, so we'll see how this engagement goes.
Hags, do you have any clue why your army seems to really like the right side wall?
It really likes to what?
The right side wall?
Oh, no
It
idea.
seemed to be just like kind of crowding around that wall. Uh-oh. Zombies are...
It's running away.
Oh.
No. Okay.
Unfortunate. So again, we see that having a very large army can work to your disadvantage at later stages of the game.
Oh no, could it be that my advice to pick up those parts and build all those units was actually bad? I take full responsibility for that.
Now we're on mid-high diamonds versus the simple soldier. Simple soldier building soldiers and a good number of turrets at first.
Yeah, so we're mid-high diamonds again, and we're red. I think the Simple Soldier is a team that we haven't played as much as many of the other teams that are here in the finals, but they've definitely taken games off of us. They can maybe explain a little more, but it looks like they start off by making some soldiers, but then eventually transition into making turrets. We had some code to counter turtlers by doing the strategy that What Thesis explained earlier, by turning our entire army into zombies. But I don't think it'll trigger just based on their original, making soldiers. So I guess we're just going to try and default to our normal, just surrounding the turrets and eventually closing in if we think we can win, which it looks like it's happening right now.
Does seem to be working. Blue team has lost their entire army. Blue team is down to a single Archon.
Yeah, Vipers do pretty good
Getting
against
chased.
turtles because they can run in and out. We're still running.
Oh no. Oh.
And we found the Archon. Yeah, so one thing, Future Perfect mentioned that one thing he does is have scouts find Archons and broadcast to everyone to rally to that enemy Archon. This is something that we were discussing doing for the last few days, but we never got around to doing it. So you can see at the end of that first game that tends to happen, that our army is just wandering around and not able to find the Archon.
Red team takes down one zombie den on the bottom. Blue team working on the den on the top.
Yeah. So it looks like we took some initial damage from zombies, but luckily we were able to hunt down the dens on the bottom right. I think we should have been able to detect that this map is rotationally symmetric, so we should know about the other dens as well, even though I don't think any of our scouts made it up there. So here, this is kind of a pretty good map for the turrets, just because there's a lot of rubble there. So once we kill all the dens, eventually our soldiers should just start swarming around our Archons, and eventually we should find out where the enemy is.
Yeah. You can see our guys are like saying this like bounding box around their turrets. So basically how we do the turret cache is like we keep a list of like 7 turrets that we've seen, and then we keep this bounding box around them to avoid turret fire. Because as you may or may not know, like most of the units can't see like where a turret would shoot them. So you want to try and avoid that. And this is something our bot is very good at, which is just wandering around in the middle of the map.
So what you're saying is they believe there's a turret that's closer, but it's not actually there?
Oh no, they aren't doing that right now. What our units default to doing is just like swarming around the Archon, and there's still parts on the map, so our Archons are trying to pick up the parts. So they're just swarming around the Archon while the Archon picks up the parts. Well, and this is the Viper sack that we mentioned. We'll see if it works or completely backfires. Anyway, it'll be exciting.
We have a nice counter. We have a nice counter.
Yeah, so in a few rounds, all our guys should self-destruct and turn into zombies. And there we go.
Oh my! We have one red Archon in the bottom right, staying out of. This strategy requires a very, very loyal army in order to work. But that was fantastic.
The ultimate sacrifice.
And now we have What Thesis versus ZomBFS.
Was that simple for you?
We'd just like to give those guys a quick shout out for that zombie crush strategy. It's just as fun to watch as it is to do it yourself. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Also very effective.
Max, I've been wanting to ask you, what animal is the Viper sprite based on?
Oh, well, I sort of thought, what looks like something that would sort of spit? And so it's like a spitter
snake.
lizard kind of thing. It's not based on any animal, but I did Google the Pokemon to get inspiration.
I thought it was a crocodile.
Let's go with that.
Are the range zombies supposed to be rabbits?
Why aren't the fast zombies rabbits?
No, they're supposed to be like scary aliens, but
oh, like Donnie Darko.
They look like
zombies.
scary rabbits.
Let's go with rabbits.
All right, so it looks like the turrets here have really done some
turrets.
damage to our team. So we do avoid turrets, but the moving turrets might be just a little bit too much for us to keep up with.
Yeah, turrets are a pretty good unit. We copied what a lot of other really good teams do, which is we just have scouts follow every single one of our turrets, so we can always see what's going. Oh, this is bad though.
Yeah, it looks like they lost an Archon in the corner, and then the Archons actually turn into really dangerous big zombies that in the late game can really come back to do some damage.
Yeah, the other bad thing about turrets is they turn into ranged zombies, which are also...
Right, that's also a problem.
Yeah.
You just need to run away for
Yeah.
a while.
And a twist of fate. Most of Blue's army has been
yeah,
reduced to
there's that guard
zombies.
code. Nice.
Blue's down to 1 Archon,
So
red
we
is
put,
down to 1
we
Archon.
put some code in.
They're both trying to run.
Unfortunately,
red.
Yeah, that was close. Well, the guard code worked at least. Yeah. It just didn't work well enough. So we had a little bit of code in there that if we're actually being chased by zombies that we can't outrun, then we actually decide to build units instead of continuing to run because we know that we won't be able to get away. And it helped a little bit, but clearly not enough.
So it is worth mentioning that this is, I believe, the losers bracket. And so teams that lose in the losers bracket will have lost their second match and unfortunately will have to be eliminated from the tournament.
We prefer a consolation bracket.
Well, every finalist gets a prize. We have What Thesis and ZombieFS very evenly matched in terms of army size, almost identical. Kind of milling around the middle Oreo.
Yeah, so you can see that our units are trying to stay pretty far away from their turrets right now. They're sort of keeping a large radius around most of their turrets in the middle.
Our Archons are pretty greedy, so they like to get parts when they're like broadcasted. So this might be bad if we like go too far out with our Archons. Or maybe
Blue
not.
team
Maybe
turrets
a lot
have
of
picked
free
off
parts.
a lot of red units straying near the Oreo.
Yeah, that'll give them an advantage for parts.
And
for
Blue has
army
also
size.
picked up a lot of parts from that middle.
And
So
that's
he's-
giving him an advantage
yeah,
in
so
army
he has,
size.
Yeah, we see that reflected in 2,400 versus around 1,300.
Okay, they're getting a little close there.
As we said, when this game gets closer to the end, you really don't know if having a big army is a good thing.
One thing we did add right at the very end is we tell Vipers never to shoot scouts after a certain point because it's just too dangerous.
What point is that?
Round 200.
That's pretty late.
Or is it 200 rounds left or 200?
200 rounds into the game.
What?
That's pretty early. 700 rounds left. The zombies are extremely strong now.
Run away, run. Everyone's running.
Oh no, all of Blue's Archons are unfortunate. So, What Thesis will win 2-1.
Wait, wasn't that 1-1?
Oh, what was it?
1-1, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Getting
Wait.
excited.
Oh, I thought, oops, I was wrong.
New map.
Yeah, being in the middle of the map is a pretty double-edged sword. If you take over the map, then all the zombies are going to come after you first.
Did they say that?
Okay, so yeah. Oh no, he's booking it back. So in addition to keeping a list of where the enemies are, we also try to keep a list of where there's a lot of friendly units, so that if our Archons are threatened, they try to run back there first, just so that they don't get caught out by themselves.
Yeah, we try to do that too, but it looks like we were so spread out at the beginning, it really cost us a lot at the beginning of the game, so that may not pan out as well as we wanted.
Well, we're slightly up in army size, but not. Yeah. So after we destroy all the dens, we just turn super aggressive and try to get the enemies as quickly as possible, without any real logic or decision making involved.
It appears to be working pretty well, so I can't
Yeah,
really
in this
argue with
case, it's an all or nothing type of deal. Uh-oh, yeah.
Come on.
Uh-oh.
Very close.
So we have a prize to give out to that team that was knocked out. Thank you so much for participating. Some exciting matches, very close.
Next we have Team 2 versus B1 with Yuri. So once again, B1 with Yuri is very likely to go for that corner.
Sometimes we just put tons of rubble in that corner just to mess with teams that have decided they want that corner.
Yes, finding the corner was a very popular strategy in, I believe, the seeding tournament. Or no, wait, maybe it was the qualifying tournament.
So there was a question about our icon earlier. It's the monk from Age of Empires 2, which is a graphical masterpiece of a video game. And it inspired our strategy of having a Viper that goes out initially to like harass the enemy team. But against like good teams, the Viper does absolutely nothing, so. We also just rush in on turrets because our scouts broadcast turret locations, but our units just ignore that half the time, so.
B1 with Yuri has managed to repel that first push by red team. But both teams are still pretty even. And there are no more zombie dens on the map.
We also try to make turrets to break through a turret line like this. You can see a couple on the top. And of course, all the other units just running in blindly.
So we see red turrets out-sniping the blue turrets here.
We're most likely going to run out of time on this because our turret strategy is very, very slow. We also have no more turrets left, so.
200 rounds left. Looks like this game is going to end for tiebreaker, and the first tiebreaker is number of Archons. Since both teams have the same number of Archons, it's going to go down to how healthy those Archons are, and so B1 with Yuri is going to take that match.
So we're usually better on smaller maps like this, so hopefully that goes well for us.
So one advantage to not staying in the corner is that you can go around and pick up parts and neutral units.
Oh no, my friends, get out of the way. Oh. Did you see he was being stopped?
Yeah, no, I saw.
Oh.
After you pointed out.
Oh.
The Archon was getting hit by a zombie but couldn't move.
Sometimes I feel like that in group projects.
Oh.
I just wanna move, step over, and then, uh-oh.
Oh, the zombies help to break through Blue's defenses, and Team 2 wins.
You know, I noticed that Archon that was injured, he turned into a big zombie and can't help but wonder if his team had not worked together better as a team, if they might not have teamed.
Sounds like you're a little bitter about that team project.
Uh-oh.
So this time, right away, we have one blue Archon getting surrounded in the bottom left. Red team getting besieged on many sides.
Yeah, once again, we're going to act with extreme prejudice against the zombie dens.
Oh, blue team's falling into trouble.
Uh-oh, run away.
And zombies finish off blue team. Team 2 wins. So that will knock B1 with Yuri out of the losers bracket. And since he's not here, we will congratulate him, but he doesn't get the certificate. Now we have Animal versus Big Swing Deeks. It's very close early. No very big difference in army size. Both teams take out the dens on the bottom right.
Yeah.
Looks like Blue's Archon is going to get trapped in the top right. He'll be down one Archon.
One thing we do that's a bit different, I think, than Animal here is we're trying to still keep our soldier advantage towards the late game. We're trying to make sure we have an even amount of Vipers and soldiers so we can still take down the zombies that will be spawned by the Vipers.
Did work.
So we see Animals going for that cream in the middle, but he builds a scout there. Now he's digging, but he has to decide, do I dig, do I spawn units? It's always a tough decision.
And we have one blue Archon getting shot from in between the Oreos, or the, what are they called?
The Oreo cookies.
Oh, okay.
The cookie pieces.
The cookies. So once again, blue is down one Archon here.
I believe the terminology is that we have an Oreo sandwich composed of cookies and cream.
Ah.
So you refer to the whole as the sandwich.
Right. Makes sense.
But it can be confusing because if you say Oreo cookie, somebody may think you refer to the entire sandwich.
I would probably think that.
But they'd be wrong.
I guess so. We've all learned something today. Blue team down to one single Archon. And they're also closest to that top left den.
Oh.
So they're going to attract a lot of zombie attention.
Oh.
But the Archon survives.
Wow. Okay. He just manages to get out of there. I'm astonished.
We are too.
Oh no, run, Blue,
he's
run.
running. He's trying to run away from fast zombies. That's not going to work well. Oh, he gets away.
Wait, what is this?
Oh no, oh, he runs straight into another pack. And Animal will tie the match.
Yeah, so my team tends to go after zombies and zombie dens first. So sometimes if they'll drag zombies around, we'll take care of them for the other team. That's what happened.
Oh, one red Archon gets trapped. Oh, both red Archons very quickly get trapped by zombies.
Oh no. Okay.
A very fast match.
We have an award to deliver to the team that got knocked out. Thank you so much for participating and for showing us such wonderful games. Next up, we've got Super Cow Powers versus Coded Belt.
Coded Belt.
Did they explain their name to us yet?
I think the name was explained, but not to me.
Okay, I want to hear it again.
It's an anagram for Battlecode.
It's an anagram
It
to
is?
Battlecode. How many people in the audience knew that already?
Oh.
I see at least, that's one hand right there. You, sir, deserve something of recognition.
we have both teams even on army size, even on Archon health and quantity. So this is a very, very close match so far.
You know, I've heard people recommend that we should change the name of the tournament from Battlecode
to Coded Belt
to Battlecod, because then we could have a
Without the E.
fish as the logo,
That sounds
and we'd save
like-
ink
That's true. Although it's always online, right? We don't
in
actually
case
print.
people print it out.
We'll think about that.
Okay. Put that idea next to film noir. So I can't help but think, every time I hear coded belt, I think like it's like a karate belt, only instead of it being a color, this time it's like, it's insulated.
An insulated karate belt?
Yeah, it's electrically isolated for electrical safety. I mean, you'd have to have the rest of the gi be coated as well.
Very insightful observations from Max.
That is, if you don't know, the uniform,
And,
the karate uniform is called a gi, at least in some cases. And anyway, you'd coat the belt to begin with on account of it being long, and you could dip it in the hot rubber, and then the rest of it would come afterward.
How to Coat a Karate Belt by Maxwell Mann. All right, well, Coded Belt takes the first match of 3, and Super Cow Powers will attempt to tie the series.
Both teams quickly
Both
taking
teams
out those
seem to be
dens.
building only soldiers. Oh no, blue team also has a number of Vipers, and red team has scouts.
Looks like
And-
blue gets
and
to the
Vipers
middle
of their own.
first, but his Archons are a little bit far back, so they're not necessarily going to eat those parts.
Yeah, the 3 blue Archons are staying near the top, out of danger. And the armies are beginning to meet. We see that blue team is winning these engagements. Red team is losing a lot of his army.
It's always hard when you're looking at these to really isolate what causes one team to tip over and start doing better. You know, you can hardly see the micro, it happens so fast.
Yeah. But for whatever cause, it seems like blue has managed to surround the red team, and those 3 Archons are most definitely going down. Blue team is going to win 2-0 and knock Super Cow Powers out of the tournament. Once again, Super Cow Powers is not here, unfortunately, but congratulations to him.
We give him this award in spirit.
And we are back to the winner's bracket on a new map.
So, do you have a name for this map, David?
Yeah, this map is called Track.
It's called Track. Oh, I can see why. It reminds me of a track.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
So you, in the past, you chose the names of maps from a dictionary, a random dictionary entry.
Right, so it turns out that making maps is fun until you get to about the 20th out of 40. And then you start just kind of like dragging your cursor and just painting random blobs of rubble and pulling a word from a dictionary randomly to name it.
And this was a random word from a dictionary?
No, not quite, actually.
Oh, okay. So sometimes you pull the random word, but other times you pull it randomly from your own head.
Right. Well, I'm not sure if you call this random.
No, I guess it would be hard to
I was kind of trying to
prove it,
actually make something that looked like a track here.
Well, I think you succeeded.
Yeah, thanks.
But these Archons are not following the rules. Oh, this one is. Oh, is it? It's running around the track?
There are
Almost.
no rules in a zombie apocalypse.
It's supposed to go. Okay, you got me there.
Blue loses both Archons near the bottom of the map. Hags will win the first.
Not digging out the areas, but the dens really hurt us there.
So we have a new, relatively small map. Pretty constrained by rubble.
I have nothing to say, so I'm just gonna comment on the fact that our name is our name is Hag, so like we just want everyone to have a really nice summer, because like have a good summer. Cool.
Aww,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's a complete lie. It's our names. It's like Henry, Alab, Gina, Saroja.
Ah.
Yeah.
So it's a trick. You know, when we were casting, we were always wondering, I think at least.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
wondering
wondering.
if it was actually for Have a Great Summer. And now we
Our
know.
Archons are running away.
Oh, red loses one Archon to the bottom. Blue team is getting trapped. One blue Archon is down, the other one is running.
Appear.
The last red Archon gets captured by the bottom right. And what thesis will tie that?
So we called the code that has the Archons run away at the end of the game GTFO code, and it turns out it's extremely important.
Can you comment on your icon?
Run away.
Icon?
Yeah, your choice of team icon.
Oh, that's us. That's a picture of us.
Of course.
You're in grad
No
school. That's what
Photoshop
it
at
takes
all.
to graduate. That's what it feels like.
So we got both teams basically even in terms of fighting power, taking out those dens.
Blue's pulling ahead a little bit, winning the engagement in the middle.
So one difference you'll notice is that their team appears to stay a lot more clumped than ours, and depending on the map, that can either help us or hurt us a lot. For example, we're spread out and taking out the zombie dens much faster, but on one-on-one engagements, it can hurt us.
That's one of the big challenges about Battlecode this year is that depending on the map and the number of zombies, the size of the map, the openness, you can have one strategy be more effective or another one be more effective. You almost have to evaluate the map and then decide what kind of strategy to go with, but it takes so much effort.
It's hard. So we see the only zombie dens remaining are on the right side. So that's going to favor whoever stays on the left, and it looks like that's going to be red team right now.
Getting pretty late in the game. The zombies are going to get tough.
It's a real knockdown, drag-out fight here in the middle with every team participating.
Including the zombie team.
Right.
And
here coming a bunch more zombies from the right.
red is getting stuck between red and green forces.
So the best thing we can hope for now is that the zombies take them and that we stay spread out enough that we can escape. Let's see if that happens.
Looks like both teams are going into the corner.
It's not looking good. Oh, God. Oh, run.
One, one blue Archon manages to stay out. No.
And we made a mistake. We got to give an award to Hags. This is your award. Thanks very much for participating. We're drowning in
Simple
papers up
Soldier
here.
versus Team 2 on track.
I think we can be forgiven for making mistakes.
So this is a map that we usually do pretty poorly on, where there's the zombie dens right behind us.
But our scouts seem to have sent most of the enemy to blue, so hopefully it'll stay that way.
The blue Viper leading the zombies back towards red, but fortunately it's early enough for red to fight off them all.
Wow, this is going bad.
We're sure we're going to lose this one. So making our bot, we try not to deal with absolutes when we were working with it. And we tried to find the high ground wherever we could so we could get the best form of attack.
Well, Blue's early Viper rush seemed to have paid off.
Sometimes it works.
We also had a problem of our scouts running away from zombies, leading them back to our base, because that technically was the safest place. But not for the rest of our guys, though. We also start building the high-priced units. We were very protected. So in this situation, we start building turrets and Vipers. And then we're probably going to throw them blindly at this moving turtle later.
A moving turtle.
So we move around to kill zombie dens that are next to us, because otherwise, if you're a turtle and there's a zombie den right next to you, you're in real trouble. And then we try to hide in some corner.
Doesn't that make it not a turtle?
Kind of. Depends on how you define it.
I mean, turtles do have legs, so there's that aspect of it. I mean, I guess if they truly didn't move, you could call them something like maybe a bunker or a tree. How about a tree?
A rock?
So we're up on tie breaks, so what it's going to come down to is whether or not our Archons remember that there's turrets there and don't move in. We'll see if that happens.
Usually doesn't.
We do have one end game strategy that involves Vipers, so hopefully we'll see that come about.
So right now, even though red team is up a lot in terms of army count, red team has lost one Archon, which means he will lose a tiebreaker if it comes down to it.
Now.
But unfortunately, all of our scouts ran themselves into him real quick, so that was a little too quick.
We always had the problem of our Archons being way too aggressive for whatever reason, so they would go on the front line where units would be trying to get in.
And it comes down to tiebreak, and Team 2 wins by having more Archons.
So we got a quick, a lot of fast zombies are just surrounding Blue's units.
Yeah.
Yes, this is about what we expected.
Patented foundation strategy.
I mean, one of the devastating parts about that move is that the scouts themselves are turning into fast zombies, which are some of the most threatening.
They are, especially in the early game when mostly you're trying to just run away from the zombies while you build up your forces. A lot of early fast zombies can really decimate your army. Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Right away.
Same thing.
It happens again.
Wow. You know, Peacemaker.
Well, we have a big thank you for the Big Swingin' Deeks. We've seen a lot of teams have trouble stabilizing on this map. Let's see how these two teams do.
This map has stronger zombie spawns than most, so it's a lot harder to fight off the zombies early on. But red team managing to take out one den to the top left, so that'll give them some safe territory.
Well, we can tell something about our name. That Felix guy actually doesn't exist. Well, he was a friend of us, but he didn't participate, so we're actually 4 buggers. And our code is not very neat.
So in truth, the team is just the buggers.
Yeah, probably that's going to be the name next year.
Uh-oh.
Last blue Archon getting caught by zombies on the top of the map. So red team will win.
So on this map, there aren't quite as many parts. And so it might be that a more turtling strategy would be appropriate. What do you think?
Yes, that generally it's better to turtle on maps that don't provide as much advantage for you if you go out and explore. Although neither team here is going to try to turtle. Both teams are going for a more offensive.
Uh-oh, those zombies seem scary.
Part count's looking about even. Both teams are down 1 Archon. It's a very close match right here. Very close. Zombies are getting a little bit more powerful. Red's trapped.
They're going to surround
Blue's
red
trapped.
and blue.
Oh.
Red falls first. Coded Belt is going to win that one.
Yeah, we build the same types of units, but I think your micro is a little better.
A lot of activations here on this map.
Yeah, there are a lot of neutral units there up for whichever team gets them. It looks like blue team managed to grab more. His army seems to be a bit stronger. And the teams are just going to go and, first of all, clear all the dens off the map before they engage each other. Although 3 red Archons are in the top right, getting threatened a little bit.
Uh-oh, they're getting surrounded.
Uh-oh.
The surround is complete. How will they get out? The rest of the army needs to come help.
It seems that they don't care too much about those Archons. It's all part of the plan.
These red Archons getting very low on health. One of them falls. The other 2 are... Oh, nope. One of them gets out.
One of them
Just
gets
barely.
out. Oh, my.
Oh,
Run,
he
Mr.
doesn't-
Archon.
Oh, no. And red is down to 1 single Archon.
1 versus 4. Doesn't seem fair.
Well, red has lost a lot of his army, taking down those Archons. So the army sizes are actually still pretty similar.
This might come down to who can run away best, and I gotta think that blue with 4 Archons has got the better chance.
Both teams continuing to use Vipers and create zombies, even though both teams have little to no armies left.
Uh-oh, red traps one of blue's.
1 blue Archon.
That's right.
Down.
This is gonna come down right to the wire. Are they gonna trap a second one? Look at this Archon in the upper right.
Red, bring it back.
Ooh. It's 1 to 2
Only 250
Archons.
rounds left.
It's really coming down to the last moment here.
150
I can't help but
rounds
slow
left.
down the match. We're slowing it down
Whoa.
as much as can be. What is going on?
Red's in trouble.
Both teams with even numbers.
46 rounds left. Red's Archon falls.
Wow, what a match by Felix and the Buggers. Thank you so much for competing.
So now we are down to the top 8.
Yep, we're in the top 8.
And we are back in the winner's bracket with Future Perfect versus Surprise Victory.
I will surprise victory again. What you can see now is last year's final, mostly, but we participated under a different name because we missed one of our core members. So we just decided to take a new name, which is a surprise this year.
So we're future perfect again in red at a significant army disadvantage. It's going to be a long, hard road if we can come back.
But as we mentioned, we have small problems or big problems, depending on the zombie strength, to actually finish a game, which comes down to how defensive our Vipers are. And he can just kite our Vipers by attacking us with small soldiers, which you can't see happen right now, because we have maybe not that closing in that we need.
So they have a 2-to-1 Archon advantage, so all they have to do is not die.
Red team down to almost nothing here, while the blue army closes in.
He's got to run away.
Oh, nice. He made his way out of the corner. He has more room now.
That's so hard to do.
It is.
This is now going to be the hardest part because zombies are very strong at this point. Like twice or more as strong as they were at the start of the game.
Uh-oh, is he going to get out of that corner?
As you can see now, it's going down.
Here come the zombies.
And this is
We have to go zombies. Oh no!
Oh, but the zombies finish off red team first. Surprise victory with 2 Archons. Definitely had a better chance there.
So I would guess this map disfavors us because we'll have to fight them a lot, and they're very strong at fighting with all their Vipers.
I think both teams will start to eliminate the zombie dance to be able to fight without zombies in their back. As you can see, there's a small advantage in turrets, which might or might not be eliminated, and that will be a core part. If you can see big armies of red turrets, that will be really hard to fight, and it starts building up.
But I think Surprise Victory is quite good at charging these turrets and taking them out. Or the Vipers create zombies which charge the turrets and take them out.
Another point is that there's an Archon we don't activate, but red will probably do that right now.
Oh, red team has taken both of the neutral Archons on the map. And blue is pinned against the wall here.
So now we're chasing down their Archon.
Red team chasing that last Archon, and they destroy it, tying the match.
Here's a really big map.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is one of the largest maps.
So we're probably going to spend a lot of time killing zombie dens because it looks like there are quite a few.
You might actually see that feature coming in here too, because we played a game against Future Perfect, and we thought that was a cool feature, and we just copied it.
The army strengths look very similar.
Both hovering around 2,300, 2,200.
So
Looks
we're
like
losing
red team is
some.
pulling ahead now.
We're losing some units in the middle to his turrets at this point.
Yeah, it looks like we have a nice big group of turrets in the top center, and they're going to try to slowly advance on blue's forces.
So you guys have that one scout per turret. That's such a nice combination. It's almost like the two units are married together.
Yeah, that's right. We think of the scouts as owning the turrets.
So it's that kind of relationship.
They even swap turrets sometimes.
Oh my.
Okay. The top map,
One blue
on top
Archon.
health, you saw an Archon die to zombies. Maybe if we get lucky, we can only win this by the zombies
Oh
breaking
no,
in.
the zombies are killing us.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Blue gets surrounded. Future Perfect wins.
Next, we've got Polar Vortex versus Mid-High Diamonds. A lot of things happening on the map, but both teams look like they're about even in army count.
Yeah. Both teams' forces are very scattered around the whole map here.
Yeah, so here you can see our Archons keep just 4 or 5 soldiers around them to protect them, but not too many, so that they'll be surrounded by a zombie swarm. So it looks like we're down in army, so we'll have to hope to extend the game until late game when a large zombie swarm is created.
Yeah, so as the Polar Vortex team mentioned, they used to be a turtling team up until the seeding tournament last week. And they were actually the main motivation for us doing the army sacrifice that we did last match, but now they don't do it anymore. In our most recent scrimmages with them during the last week, the games almost all looked like this, where we had a decent lead, but as they mentioned, they have such specialized Archon running away code that we almost never were able to track them down. So all of our games went 3,000 rounds for the most part. And it just came down to Archon health, which it looks like we're leading. So if it's the case that we aren't able to find them, as long as we don't take any more damage, it should be good for us.
Yeah, I like to think that it's good for us when it comes down to Archon health tiebreakers, since they run away so much. They've got to be pretty healthy, right?
Looks like we're chasing his Archon up
we're
in the
losing
upper
an
right,
Archon,
and we
so
got
now
it. So
blue
if we
loses
don't
an
take
Archon.
any more damage, but our Archon's trying to go for the parts in the middle, even though the enemy's there. So that could be an issue.
Yeah, so it does look like we're going to
rounds
drop
left.
this game.
Red going back in.
We just have to hope our Archons can survive this out.
90 rounds.
This is a very close game.
And we dropped this game.
Looks like red team will win on tiebreaker. Manages to stay away from that center area.
So tempting. So tempting.
So one of the important things at the beginning, as you can see here, we found that den on the left very quickly. Unfortunately, not the one at the top. But the scout exploring method is pretty important. And what we found when working on ours is that basically the more random it is, the better coverage of the map you get. But it's also, I introduced a patience system. So if a scout tries to go in the same direction for 20 turns, and then if it doesn't make any headway in 20 turns, it gets impatient and randomly changes direction. And that helps find dens because sometimes zombies spawn, but then we just go around them because we're patient enough.
Oh no. Couple of Archons nearly stuck in the corner there.
Yeah, so there are 2 neutral Archons on this map. Red found the one on the bottom left, and no one seems to have found the one on the top right. But we did kill one of their Archons, so that's something.
Unfortunately, we're down on health.
Right, so they are down on health, so again, as long as if we don't take damage and no one else finds that top right Archon, this is looking good for us.
What we have to hope for here is that we, well, first of all, he doesn't find the, looks like he got the neutral.
That's good.
Oh wait, there's a big Viper swarm, so it's gonna come down to running away. Zombie swarm, sorry.
One blue Archon gets out.
Oh,
the red Archon gets caught in the swarm of zombies.
So a lot of times on games between teams like ours and mid-high diamonds, it ends like that with a huge zombie swarm, and it's whoever can run away the best.
So this map is probably worse for us just because it's easier for them to squirm away. One thing that you might have seen in the last game, I'm actually not sure if it came up, but our Archons, if they think they're not safe, they'll build a guard just to try to take some of the damage away from themselves. This was something that we saw from a game against the Duck, but I think he said that he took it from another team. But we're not sure if it's actually good, but we just copied it from the other teams.
So if you notice, when our soldiers get in confrontations with the enemy's army, we actually implement focus firing. So our soldiers have a preference to attack soldiers that our own units are attacking. It's to quickly deprecate it soldier by soldier, rather than just lowering the health of the entire army.
So how we decide when to build more units to protect our Archons is when we've seen a hostile unit recently, or we do think we don't have enough units to protect our Archons, we'll build a soldier to protect our Archon. But it looks like one of our Archons went down because it was chased by a fast zombie. And so it looks like unless we manage to create a large zombie swarm with our Vipers, it looks like they're gonna take it.
Mid-high diamonds with a large ball of units in the middle, trying to chase down the remaining red forces.
Yeah,
One red
so after our turret bot was shown to be ineffective, our new turrets that we activate currently just move toward the center of the map because we don't have time.
So we lost 2 Archons now, and it looks like we're going to lose. Yep. So we lost an Archon health.
Thank you, zombies, again.
So now we are moving back into the losers bracket, I believe, with What Thesis versus Team 2.
This is quite a tricky map with all those parts in the middle being covered under all that rubble.
It is. It's tantalizing, but it requires some time to actually dig through if you want to get those parts.
So we were actually really disappointed that these guys won, no offense, because the other team had a pretty turtle strategy, which is what we spent a considerable amount of time working on a counter to. So this one, we're just going to have to duke it out the old-fashioned way, I guess. With mixed results.
Yeah, we're hoping our ultra aggression strategy works out. It looks like it's not at all.
Oh, both teams cornered.
These games turn into a coin flip a lot of the time.
Looks like we were way too aggressive in that last one.
We learned to do the Viper rush from these guys, but I think they go with 2 usually.
Yeah, it sort of can. Oh, no. That one came back to bite us.
It's a very risky strategy, yeah.
Yeah.
Neither team has found that neutral Archon.
What Thesis? Down a lot of units.
Maybe if he picks up that Archon, he'll be in some better shape.
Yeah, the Archon's
Oh, he's getting chased around.
This is a giant map.
It is a very large map.
So our scouts, they'll actually explore the edges of the map first. We found that a lot of the maps had zombie dens on the exterior. Once they complete the edges, they will use a breadth-first search to find the other dens. I don't think we broadcast part locations. It's up to the Archons to find those.
only see 3 dens left, one of them which red team is working on. But once again, Team 2 pulling ahead in terms of army size.
Yeah, part of the problem here, I think, is that there's so many dens that our soldiers just try to pick one and then they all get separated, which it looks like isn't going to go well for us. Yeah, that's not good.
All right, this time we've got Foundation versus Coded Belt. So once again, Foundation is trying to lead those zombies toward Coded Belt.
I'll just say one thing. So in this game, or in Battlecode, scouts also happen to be the cheapest unit you can buy, which means I can produce a lot of them.
Both teams trying to run away from zombies. Foundation uses a... Oh! They're both stuck. Oh! All right, that's it for now. All right, well, we've seen a lot of matches. I'm tired. I'd like to take a little break. And so let's listen to a word from our sponsors, 2 Sigma. So, oh, well, that's splash screen. We went for 6. So, yeah, go ahead.
Awesome, cool. So a little brief word from your sponsors. So I'm Michael, I'm modeler at 2 Sigma. I'm gonna try to keep this brief so we can get back to all the action. But we've got a lot of questions outside about what makes us different from other quant firms. And so we are like much more like a tech company with a sort of finance application. And so we really like, the whole Battlecode thing is sort of something like, is sort of how we basically work. So sort of thinking about the problems that we face in terms of like as if it were Battlecode. So if you imagine like after all this, you have all of this data, how would you analyze all of this to make a better strategy for future potential competitions? If you have all of that, how do you actually want to also optimize all of your bot code individually, doing all that analysis, all the transforms on that, and then all the actual other problems as well that you'd have if you wanted to make this an actual enterprise thing, sharing data internally, all of that. So if you think about like all those types of problems, all the data analysis problems, all the transforms problems, all the strategy making, that's basically what we do on a day-to-day basis. We really just make our own bots on the market. We let them run and let them go, and that's basically our business model. And so we have a very techy culture. We have a hacker lab. We have a bunch of fun events where we play like humans versus AI. If you like Battlecode, you probably like our culture. You'll probably like the sort of things we do. So that's us, that's 2 Sigma. We have ongoing recruiting. We have internships you can apply all year round. We have full-time interns for engineer and modeling positions. But yeah, we do data, we do computer science, and we're a real fun place to be. So hopefully you guys have a great rest of the night. Congratulations to everyone here. And yeah, that's it.
All right, next sponsor will be Bloomberg. Come on up.
Greetings, Battlecodicans. Hi, I'm Alex. I am one of the former devs, so I used to be sitting up there back in 2009 to 2011. And before that, I participated in Battlecode once. And for the past 5 years, I've been having a blast at Bloomberg. But before I get into a little bit about what Bloomberg does, I just want to say, being up there and like helping out all the teams, a lot of the teams started out not knowing anything about AI programming, and over the course of IAP, they've spent countless all-nighters tweaking their bots, especially the days before the tournaments, and I just want to give them a round of applause for just being generally awesome. But I'm sure many of you guys probably are pretty new to hearing about Bloomberg, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of info about who we are and why we're up here. So we're a big data company, and I'll explain what that is. Our goal is to be the good guys on Wall Street. So what does that mean? We don't do any trading. We don't do any portfolio management or investment or anything like that. Our goal is to give information to our clients, and no matter whether our client is the smallest hedge fund or the largest big corporation, big bank, we give them the exact same information as long as they buy our product. So, okay, why is information so important? Well, the main idea is if you're a trader and you know what's going to happen to something first, you can act on it first and you can make the most money. So I'll give you just one example of one of the cool things that we've done at Bloomberg to be able to give our clients their information first. So we had some people that traded oil, right? They wanted to know what was going on with oil, how much OPEC was producing, the countries in the Middle East. But it's not like we as Bloomberg can go to a country and be like, would you please tell us how much oil you guys are making today? That would be ridiculous. So one of our teams got together and we thought about it and we realized, hey, one cool thing we could do is we could buy some satellite photos, look in really close and identify, hey, those ships are oil tankers, whereas those are fishing vessels. So like we actually have a computer figuring that stuff out. And we could do a few cool other things as well to figure out about how much oil they're carrying. And that's like super important because if you think about it, if in the past month, the last 30 days, there have been 30 tankers coming out of, let's say, Saudi Arabia, but for the past 2 days, there have only been 5. Like, that means there's going to be a lot less oil in the market, and the price is going to go way up. So that's just one example. But I'll tell you a little bit of stuff I've been doing in the past couple of weeks, especially being a former dev, and especially seeing that this year's competition was all about zombies, and at Bloomberg, for all the obvious reasons, we love zombies. We decided that it would be really cool to see how teams do against massive giant waves of zombies that never stop. So if you guys heard of the mini zombie Armageddon competition this year, we're the ones that built the competition, built the code for it. And when we were building it, we actually kind of realized it's not fair, really, pitting a team against endless waves of zombies, because come on, who can like survive against zombies? So we thought about making it a little bit easier, and like how could we even the odds a bit? So we thought about all the things zombies are weak against. The first thing we came up with was garlic, and then wooden stakes. But those are like really hard to draw, and they're kind of small, and they wouldn't really fit on that screen. So we finally came up with daylight, which I'm super afraid of as a programmer myself. So what the Zombie Armageddon competition actually is there's going to be massive waves of zombies during the night, and during the day, the player will actually have some time to build units and prepare for the next night. And the original goal was whichever player would last longest would win, but we actually saw a couple of strategies that ended up beating the zombies, surprisingly. The first match I want to show is actually in true MIT tradition, in true Battlecode tradition of, there was actually a hack in the first map. If any of you guys saw Boxy Armageddon, that was the example map we gave out for the zombie competition. And there was one team, Foundation, if you can come up, that did something very, very clever. And we want to show that match, actually, for everybody to see how he won Boxy Armageddon.
So the first thing you'll note is the round counter increasing past 10,000.
If you saw that, I suicided one of my Archons like very early. Then you get to watch this.
So if we slow this down, what we see.
So basically, what's happening is I keep spawning a guard. Okay, I keep spawning one guard, and the guard basically keeps replenishing itself. So after being attacked by zombies, units have this 10-turn recovery period, after which they become uninfected and won't be turned into a zombie. Moreover, while it's recovering, you can sort of see the rubble animation of the zombies trying to clear the rubble on the bottom, or during the night anyway. And so the soldier, basically, it waits for there to be enough rubble to walk over it, and then walks over it and destroys itself, leaving some rubble, making it harder for the zombies to get through. And so this will keep building up during the day because of how the Armageddon is implemented with zombies taking damage during the day. To ensure that, so this strategy relies on there being the weakest zombies in front, so I'm only being attacked by weak zombies, the standard zombies, which are the weakest. And so every daylight phase, I go out, destroy all the zombies in front, and then replenish them with a new set of soldiers who then become zombies. And then they can survive until the next wave.
Could you guys actually scroll to the very beginning of the map to like see exactly how this starts? Because I'm sure many people are like super
So the
interested
beginning is
to
the most
know.
interesting, and then it just repeats itself over and
Just the first few rounds.
So after, so there you see one of my Archon destroys itself, just because it's easier to work with one Archon.
All right.
And then, yeah.
So one of the cool things I noticed about this was all of his units suicide themselves at the very beginning to become the weak zombies, so he can actually hold off the rest. Cool. Are we giving a prize? Awesome.
No, that's the later one.
Okay, cool. So actually, just we'll get a prize later, but I figured just giving out like certificates and cash is like not enough, right? A lot of you guys are hackers. You go to hackathons, you go to Battlecode, you get T-shirts, but your outfit isn't complete until you have like sort of the bottom part. So we're also giving out pajama pants. Cool. So when we created this competition, we also said there would be a secret map, just so like people can code for the existing Boxy Armageddon map and shoot in a direction that they just knew the zombies would appear in. So we actually had a secret map, and that one was much bigger with much more zombies. And instead of starting in the corner, one of the hardest parts was the player started in the middle. So the strategy you just saw before wouldn't actually work. So I just want to show this map, and Future Perfect, would you come up? Future Perfect was actually the only team that was able to beat this map. Did you guys do any specific code for the Armageddon competition?
Yeah, so we wrote a bit. We figured the only unit that's any good against zombies is soldiers, so we built a lot of soldiers. I think everybody does this. And we modified our code to make our soldiers a little bit smarter and more cooperative about killing the zombie dens, because we figure we just want to kill them as fast as possible. So we had to write some code for them to get out of each other's way so they could get to the zombie dens and kill them faster.
So one of the interesting things I noticed is you guys were actually so overwhelming that the daylight didn't even matter. But congratulations, guys. This was pretty awesome. Cool. Congratulations.
All right, and then, oh, thank you so much, Bloomberg, for running that tournament.
Thank you.
Yeah, Alex wrote the Alex Tamarkin there. He wrote the code that runs the whole zombie section. And to any other of our sponsors who want to run their own sort of sub tournament, then they're welcome to do that, and we love to see it. So next we're going to see and hear again from Cruz, because now we have the video working. Hopefully. See.
Hey, I'm Gabe from Cruise. I did Battlecode a while back too. I'm just going to show you a quick video of our car driving around. Yeah, it's sped up, so the car doesn't actually drive this fast. It's in San Francisco. So you can see the LiDAR points, the purple cloud around us. See the red indicates seeing a stoplight, and green, see that turn green. Yeah, so you can see all the obstacles we're seeing around us. You know, the car is in fact turning the steering wheel here. And you can see also, yeah, we're making the turns right and all this stuff. And then coming up here, there's going to be a pedestrian in the crosswalk. So we're going to go through the light a little bit, wait for them to clear out, and then keep going. So yeah, this is our real code running, and it's a lot of fun. Hope you join us.
Wow, that was a super cool video. I'm glad, here up at Battlecode, our contestants know that not everything works when we set it up the first time. Obviously, crews, all their stuff works, but our stuff doesn't always, but we get it to you eventually. So, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna watch more of the finals matches.
Almost done. So, we're going back to surprise victory versus Team 2 in the losers bracket.
Only got a few more matches until we know who is the top Battlecoder for this year.
I believe there are 4 teams left in the losers bracket and 2 left still undefeated in the winners.
Pretty even match so far. Maybe blue with a little bit fewer units.
Red team taking over the middle and getting a lot of parts from that.
As a totally unrelated note, we listened to a really cool German song for the entire month. And we had Surprise Victory translated for us last night at the reception.
What does it mean?
It's just a rap song, and what does it mean again exactly?
What?
The song? Yeah, the song.
Which song you mean? I think Julian didn't hear that because it was only us two, and I think it was about gangsters and women and what they do together. Probably money is involved too, but.
Yeah, we realized our bot was going to get owned by Victory, so here we are.
And yeah, Team 2 down to.
Yeah, but as always, we take a long time to track down the Archons.
Just the one Archon now. He's got to run away. He has a small chance of victory.
Very small. It looks very difficult.
Reminds me of the title. Oh, there we go.
And he falls. That takes us to a new map called Fourier.
Oh, I get it.
I didn't get it at first.
It's because it's a sine wave.
Is this actually like legit a sine wave?
No. I just drew something that kind of looked like.
Oh.
I believe this could be a polar vortex, maybe. I'm not sure.
I was just kidding.
Oh, he was kidding.
Yeah, there was a neutral Archon in the middle at the origin, and it looks like red team has taken that one.
Oh,
so
there's only the one.
Yeah, there's only one in the very center of the map.
An odd number of width and height, then, huh?
Yes.
That's pretty rare. I feel like we don't usually do that.
No, I do it a lot.
Oh, all right.
It lets you do things like that.
It's worked for all sorts of weird symmetries.
So far, surprise victory still leading in terms of army and Archon count.
We have the issue where our Archons will leave the battle to safety and then go right back to it for whatever reason.
Yeah, we stopped killing scouts with our Vipers so that we don't accidentally spawn fast zombies.
Got a couple of those ranged zombies there.
Uh-oh.
Can blue run away?
Team in a lot of trouble here.
If he can run away...
Oh, the zombies have turned and they're going for red. Red team having trouble fighting them off with just Vipers.
This is still anyone's game.
I see red team actually losing a lot of forces here. The army size are going back to even.
Everybody's running away.
Now everyone's in trouble.
We could maybe pull off a
50
surprise
rounds left.
victory.
Oh, red team loses 2 Archons.
Oh, no.
In the last 50 rounds, red team runs out of places to hide.
I believe that was a surprise victory.
What a tense match.
So our Icon got early damage. We have like a slight disadvantage.
So you have both the top zombie dens destroyed. Blue team, even in army this time.
Red seems to have the center of the map. Is he going to capitalize on that part count? With only one Archon, it's hard to move forward to collect those parts. You're so busy building those soldiers.
It's a hard trade-off. And you also have to know that there are parts out there to get. Uh-oh. Blue Archon just barely escapes from the zombies.
But he's caught among
So
those
now
units.
He's
again,
in
the zombie
between red
afterwards
units and zombies.
Yeah, we lost.
Oh, brings the zombies over to red team, and they finish red off.
Wow, what a match. And we have a certificate for a surprise victory. You guys
Congratulations.
Gave us so many entertaining matches. Next, we'll be looking at mid-high diamonds versus foundation.
Yeah, we're pretty scared about this.
Uh-oh, here come a lot of fast zombies.
Yeah. Brought to you by Foundation.
Run, Red, run.
Wow. Foundation strategy. Still working out.
Yeah, so we've never actually played Foundations on the Scrim server, so we didn't know anything about the strategy until we saw it during the seeding tournament.
That was kind of a strategy on my part. I didn't want to rank too highly. I didn't rank that highly in the seeding tournament, which I'm kind of glad of because
Red team.
it means not
Both
as many teams
Archons
are
getting
prepared
chased
for
by
this.
fast zombies.
Oh no! We have a certificate for mid-high diamond. Certificate for you guys. Thanks so much. And we're on to our next match. Future Perfect versus Polar Vortex.
So we're Future Perfects again in red. We're trying to kill all these zombie dens on this huge map.
Teams are going for the zombie dens first.
If there are any MIT admissions officers watching, if I could please ask you to direct your attention away from these next two games.
So there's a big fight in the middle of the map where we're trying to use our many turrets to bring down some of their units. Looks like we got a small army advantage out of that.
Yeah, it looks like, so we kind of have a bit of a problem where we implemented a lot of code to counter the turtle strategy, which uses a lot of turrets, but in the process, we might have made ourselves worse against offensive turrets like Future Perfect is using here. And so offensive turrets which are behind lines often do lots of damage against us, as you're seeing in the middle of the map there.
So we're chasing one of their Archons in that corner, which is, wow, that guy is such a runner. Can barely hit
Getting
him.
led into more red forces.
Fun fact, we are all runners as well. It inspired our Archons.
Okay, we're chasing.
Future Perfect manages to chase down those Archons.
New map here.
Yep. This map is very empty. There's some stuff in the middle.
So it looks like we're all trying to kill the zombie dens first.
Blue team finishes off the last zombie dens. Red team gets into the middle to take those
Yeah,
parts and
looks
neutral
like that
units.
turret is killing a lot of our units.
Okay, so we've taken over this fortress, and now we're shooting the cannons off the parapets, I guess. Probably you don't put cannons on parapets. I'm not like a castle designer.
Yeah, so at this point, our only hope is to hold out long enough that we can eventually create a large zombie swarm, but it looks like he's cornered two of our Archons, so that's not good.
Oh,
One
there was a
Archon
bit
left
of
running
a
away.
danger there.
So that knocks Future Perfect
Yeah,
down
so-
to the losers
No,
bracket.
no, Future Perfect won.
Oh,
So
sorry.
That knocks,
that knocks
Polar Vortex
right.
down to the loser bracket.
Thank you.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So Future Perfect remains undefeated.
So Polar Vortex still has the chance to play against that team
Yes.
again. But right now we're seeing Team 2 versus Foundation.
Once again,
So
since
again,
Foundation is in the game,
Scouts going in.
so are a lot of fast zombies.
Wait,
Although it got to me.
what's going on?
Oh, they're going after. Oh wait.
Oh
No, it's so hard to watch Foundation games. There's just so many zombies all over.
Our soldiers don't even shoot scouts, so GG, man.
Red guys. Red guys
Team
got to
2.
run. Everybody's running from zombies.
But
Everybody's
Right.
running.
Blue
Everybody's running. Blue team's getting attacked by fast zombies.
Looks like your Red's going to win this one. They have an open.
Blue's trapped. One blue Archon's
Blue's trapped.
going down.
Blue's trapped.
He has one left.
But one isn't trapped.
Is red in the corner?
All teams running.
Oh, red has one Archon left. Higher health. Blue is going to go down. Team 2 beats Foundation at their own game.
Unimaginable.
Comes down to the third game.
Wow. I'm speechless.
Red team claims the first neutral Archon that'll help him survive.
What's going on? Wait, what's blue doing?
I'm not sure.
Oh no. I think blue team got surrounded so early, they were unable to build more scouts on that one.
So we give our certificate to Foundation. Very impressive performance.
Fourth place finish by Foundation, building only scouts.
Unbelievable.
And Team 2, actually, you guys get to stay up here because now you face against Polar Vortex, who is just knocked out by Future Perfect.
You two are fighting for that last place, the match that is going to be the last match.
Yeah, that one.
That one. There's a name for that.
Yeah, there probably is. The final match?
Something like that.
I don't know if anybody noticed, but on the last map set, one of the maps is actually negative sine theta, and we like to think that's a tribute to us.
You know,
That's what you were
maybe it was subconsciously.
So looks like, as usual, the other team has a unit count advantage, but we'll see if we can run away well enough and create a large zombie swarm near the other team. So yeah, one thing we do different from a lot of teams, keep their Vipers in a swarm next to their Archons, which helps them with the fact that all their units are close together, so it helps them in micro, but we always send our Vipers to the enemy team, so when they do create a zombie swarm, it's usually far away from us.
Team 2 still
Yeah,
with
we
a,
actually got the idea of sending Vipers straight to the enemy initial Archon locations from Team 2, so shout out to them for our strategy.
It's dual purpose. It leads the initial round zombies towards the other team, and you can attack the soldiers early game.
Team 2 up an army, but he's
Looks
having
like
trouble pushing towards red.
Oh, he just reached a parts field.
Looks like
That'll
Archon
give
has a little
even more
blip
units.
of damage, so unless something happens soon, they're going to win on that tiebreaker.
Given the number of Vipers on this map, I think something is definitely going to
Yeah,
happen.
Team 2 has a lot of Vipers, which will help them in the fights, but it also might create a lot of zombies later on, although now they are building turrets, which could hurt us.
750 turns left. The zombies are getting really strong now.
Red is going to have to just run away. Oh, here come the zombies.
It all comes down to the runaway.
Both teams running.
We're trying to run away from those fast zombies. Doesn't seem
Red
to be
team
working
getting chased
too
by
well.
fast zombies. Red team goes down first. Team 2 takes the first game.
So we based a lot of our early strategy against turtle busting, and we'd always go attack, or we'd always versus F sine theta. So
Yeah, his Vipers did a lot of early damage to our soldiers, and we don't have a very big army because of that. Looks like we're both going after the dens now, and about equal in army. Yeah, we work together to kill the dens, so now I guess we'll attack each other.
I guess you could say we're on their team too.
Well,
the puns.
The enemy of
We're trying
our enemy
to
is
corner
our
their
friend.
Archon, but their Vipers and that turret are really hurting us. Although we are trying to corner that Archon in the left, but it's also pretty good at running away.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, one thing we're a bit better at than other teams is finishing off Archons. In our micro, we actually have a preference to chase them down.
Another blue Archon getting stuck in the bottom right.
Only one blue
Blue's
Archon
down to one
It's
left.
being chased
It's
by the
getting chased.
zombies.
Yeah, that blue Archon's really good at running away, so we're going to have to try to survive until it gets killed by those zombies.
Fast zombies after blue's Archon.
And looks like it'll go to third match.
So low.
Third match.
We had a condition, if we're getting chased by one fast zombie, we'll stop the Archon, build a guard. But 2 fast zombies, we don't.
So it looks like we're taking out the dens, and we're going to kill the den that was next to them for them. Nice of us, I guess. A lot of engagements going around the map, so we'll see how the army size plays out.
Red team early lead in terms of army size. Dropped a little after an engagement.
Yeah.
Blue's taking the lead
Yeah,
back.
so although we do keep a lot of soldiers around our Archon to protect it, that does lead to some downsides where sometimes we don't have as many soldiers in the actual engagement, which leads to us losing some more. So looks like it's just going to come down again to late zombie swarm unless one of us can corner our other Archons early.
Something interesting that Team 2 seems doing is keeping their Archons close together. We didn't really like to do that since when a big zombie is spawned, it's very dangerous to have your Archons next to it. Our scouts actually implement something similar where they try to stay away from each other so we don't doubly explore the same zone.
Yeah, the patience thing that I mentioned earlier, if a scout sees another scout, it just turns around. And it doesn't matter how patient it is, it just goes in the opposite direction.
As you can see, we definitely don't broadcast enemy Archon locations because for a while there, he was just chilling next to all of our Archons and we were just letting him be. I think it's going to be pretty random at the end here, but he's got pretty good turtle code, so that's probably gonna do
One
it.
blue Archon goes, 2 blue Archons go down. The third one's getting chased by a lot of fast zombies and falls. So Polar Vortex will win that one.
And we have a certificate to give out to
Team
another
2
great team.
finishes in 3rd place.
Well done. Alrighty, so we are down to the point where we have just one set of 3 matches left to go, or 2 if the team that has a loss ends up winning, because that makes it fair, because it's double elim. But before we do that, we have our fun awards section, where we devs reward teams for doing various specific things that aren't just winning.
Can you hear me? Cool.
To present these awards, I give you James.
Hi. Fun. You get to listen to me talk for 15 minutes. Yay. All right. So, the first award I'm going to give out goes to #Trump2016 and the award is 2 Sigma's award for Best Strategy Report. And I don't think... And they had a really nice strategy report, and you should all write strategy reports next year because you can win this award too. But I don't think Trump is here. So we're just gonna go without him. All right, next certificate. Oracle's award for stage presence goes to Team Mid-High Diamonds. All right. Just come up and grab it. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get through these as fast as possible because it's almost 10. All right, congratulations, you guys. All right, the next award, yay. This next team won won the puzzle competition that we had on the website. If you noticed that, if you didn't, that's cool. There was one and someone won it. And their name is Willie Zoo. Yay.
We won't be revealing the answer to the puzzle competition just now. We'll reveal it later.
Congratulations. All right, this next award, in recognition of most absurd quantity of code, this team had 90,000 lines of code. And about 80% of it was a single switch statement. I don't know what to say to that. I was speechless when I found it. All right, come on up, surprise victory. Congratulations. Next. Our first hacker award for hacking our engine and making it so that this team managed to escape the sandbox that we put robot code in and change the match's zombie spawn schedule. So during a scrimmage, suddenly hundreds of big zombies showed up out of nowhere. And that showed us a valuable vulnerability, which we got rid of. So thank you very much, Apex.
So we're also going to show a sample of what this exploit looks like if it works. And it looks, watch very closely, because it happens very fast. You know, it's very easy to miss. Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that happens.
Yep.
And it looks like it also bugs out our client or something, because the match doesn't finish. But, you know, that's what exploits do.
All right, so I don't think Apex is here, so good job. Next Hacker Award 2, for hacking our website and showing a very serious vulnerability that we haven't fixed yet. But we're not going to tell you what it is, so it's fine. Security through obscurity, it works. Kevin Zhang. Woo. Also not here. Thank you. All right. Now this award goes, so a little bit of backstory. In our scaffold and engine code, we do a reasonable amount of work to support Scala, and this year, 2 teams used Scala, and this team was one of them, and they got farthest. So congratulations, AVB. There.
So just a word about AVB. So AVB is a one-man team. He's actually my brother. He's a high school student from Amador Valley. That's where AV comes from. I think he's watching the live stream of this. So congrats, Luke.
Yeah, here. All right, this award for cleanest code, and this is kind of an estimate. We ran a linter over all the code that was submitted, and we found the cleanest possible one. It had 0.001 errors per line. The team with the most warnings in their code from our linter had 1 for every 2 lines of code. It was nice. Lots of good variable names. All right, but this team has very clean code. Thank you, or come on up, Coded Belt. It's okay. All right. So this next team won the sprint tournament. Come up, Den Reapers, if you're here. Not here. All right. This next team managed to get the most submissions on our servers. They submitted 2,000. Wait, what? Oh, no, I'm reading the wrong thing. This is the most submissions, most individual robot sets of code. They submitted 71 separate sets of code for their robot player. So congratulations, FN2187. Not here. All right, next. We have 3 creative strategy awards. This is the first one. For being able to weaponize zombies effectively against their opponents in tournaments, congratulations, what thesis?
I gotta say, when we were watching those matches in the qualifying tournament, when we saw that happen, I almost flipped the table. That was amazing.
I'm very glad you didn't, especially since it's my equipment that was on the table. But no, thanks for.
What's the quote?
Wasn't his quote just like a really loud scream?
All right. Our second most creative strategy award for doing exactly the same thing goes to, but like, you know, it's awesome that you were able to do this. The Simple Soldier. And finally, all right, congratulations, you guys. Yeah. And finally, in recognition of their amazing abilities to use scouts and nothing else, please come on up, Foundation. I also have a second award for Foundation. The second award is Audience Favorite. All right, this next team this is what's actually right. The most scrimmages, they sent out 2,000 scrimmage invitations and played 700 of them. They accounted for 10% of the load on our servers all month. So, you know, thanks for that. We spent a lot of money on you. Come on up, NP Compete. All right, and finally, in recognition of the fact that they are in high school and got to second place in Battlecode, what? Or first? I don't actually know, I haven't seen a thing. No, like I seriously don't know, they got to at least, never mind. Please come up, Polar Vortex.
We're really happy to have high school teams compete.
Yeah. Hey, if you're watching the stream and you're in high school for some odd reason, you should do that next year. Cool. And I forgot to give the Simple Soldier their second award, which is D.E. Shaw's Award for Most Adaptable Strategy. Please come up again. Yay. All right. And I think that's everything. Cool.
Because there's no more time, right? After they finish the applause.
And that is all of our special awards. Hooray.
Okay, so in tonight's schedule, we have just two more activities. One of those activities is watching the final match, but before we do that, you all remember the number of your seat, right? And you know the letter of the row. And I have here, on a used pizza plate, written down in pen, ahead of time, seat and row numbers. And I will read them. What? Yes, and I will read them, and if it is your seat and row number, then make some kind of noise or other so that we know it's you. I'm only going to read out enough numbers and seats until we get two people, because we only have the two things because we made a mistake at one point. If you need to know the edge of the row number, ask the guy on the end, because it says on the handrest what the row number is. Anyway, I thought this would be fun. So if it ends up being excruciating, then maybe you can like corner me in an alley and let me know. Okay, so first number, I don't know, is this how they do it in bingo? The first number is F22. Anybody sitting in F22? Well, raise your hand if you're in F, anyway. And where's 22? Oh. Wait, I see hands pointing in opposite, it's over there. All right, so nobody's sitting in F22. Okay, next letter, M. Who's in row M? Okay, you guys, M18. Anybody in 18? Everybody points. The numbers don't go in order. Okay, nobody's at M18. This is failing so miserably.
It's all right, we got a lot of numbers
okay,
left.
J, row J. Okay, J4. Anybody in 4?
Got someone.
Hey! So come on up, and we'll write down our contact information, and you write down your email, and we'll send you the thing. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay. So we got these iPad minis. You can't take this one from me now, but we'll get one to you at some point. Are you from far away?
No, I live in Cambridge.
You live in Cambridge. What's your name?
Nestle.
You can speak it into this if you want.
Nestle.
Okay. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So you win this cool thing.
Wow, wonderful.
All right. So yeah, you can go back down, and I'll read who wins the Apple TV. We're gonna buy another one because we made mistakes, but we're making it right, and we're gonna read more things. Okay. So write down that she wins the iPad thing. I don't know how Apple products work. Forgive me. So what letter were we on? We were on J4 or?
Yes, J4.
Okay. Next letter is H. H row. Raise your hand in H row. Okay. 103.
We didn't even have any 22s. We're gonna have 103?
Your coat is on 103? Your coat is not the legal recipient of an award. I'm sorry. If we open the door to this, then the next year people are gonna cover all the seats with clothing. So no, I'm sorry. Maybe next time you'll sit to the left of your coat. Okay, we have row F, 102. All right, question.
I have a suggestion. Flip a coin between 1 and 3. Okay?
I have more numbers to read out here.
From the raffle
I'm sorry. What?
Sounds like a deviation from
Yeah,
our-
that's a
from our
deviation from
protocol.
protocol. Maybe next year. Okay, row G. Row G. G1. You sitting in... Okay, that was... You're trolling me. Okay. Oh, it is you? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, so come on up.
I can't take it, though.
Oh, you can't take it?
Yeah, because I'm here with the press.
Oh, of course. You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Oh.
That's illegal.
Oh, I didn't realize he's part of the press, so he can't get it. So it might go to somebody else. What a nice guy. He's following the rules. Geez, that's awkward. I wonder if that's going to show up in the article. Okay, so we have more numbers. Sorry, you guys are going to be sitting through this charade until we're all dead. Okay, so we have row K. I mean, it's got to end at some point, right? K23. No? Okay, row N. Row N40. N40?
Ouch.
Okay.
Sorry.
R. Row R. Okay, you guys, R3. 3. Is that one of you? No, 3.
Is there a
It's
hand?
you?
Oh, we got someone.
So he gets something that, come on up and write down your contact details, and we'll send you one of these cool things. It's an Apple TV something or other. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, it does stuff.
Well said. Well, thanks everybody for sitting in seats. You make, every time you sit in a seat, you have the chance of winning something amazing. Am I right?
Yeah.
All the more so tonight. So, with that,
Now
we're
that
ready
we're
to move on
through
to
with,
the last match.
Max's Super Mystery Raffle, we will be moving on back to Battlecode. And that will be Future Perfect versus Polar Vortex.
Say it's by Apple.
Okay. So as you recall, Polar Vortex here has lost one match, so he is one elimination out of 2 that are allowed.
Before we finish, the top 3 teams need to come up. They also get these wonderful prizes from Apple. So the top 3 teams, again, after this, come up to the top, and we'll give
after
you
this.
and we'll give you stuff. Okay,
After
just
the
wanted to say
competition
that.
is over. Right. All right. So Polar Vortex versus Future Perfect. And Future Perfect only needs to win 1 match here.
Switch, go back, restart.
Oh my gosh.
Press the I button.
Don't worry. We can rewind.
We have the technology.
Okay, so we're Future Perfect again in red. I assume on these maps we'll go for these zombie dens as soon as we find them. They seem to be on the left and right sides.
So in their bio, they noted from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that Future Perfect isn't. That's all we can hope for now.
Looks like they already have an army advantage against us.
Thankfully, he hasn't built very many turrets yet. We give a lot of room for turrets. We just avoid them completely until we build up enough units to do that you just saw on the bottom
One
left.
of our Archons has been totally trapped. So we're down to 1 Archon. Not looking good.
I don't know if you saw, but once he built a turret, we totally rushed in on it. So once we detect we have enough units, we should totally rush in on the turret. Yeah.
Very, very nice. We were never able to implement this very well.
So we call that a crunch, and it actually works on a scale of how many soldiers you have in relation to their turrets, and a sliding scale with Vipers, since Vipers get more powerful in the late game.
Well, they're coming for us.
Unfortunately, when our scouts cannot see his turrets,
We're
we aren't as
getting
good. But it looks like we
Run.
crunched. And if you notice, our Archons ran away to the other corner while we crunched. So hopefully we don't die from the zombies horde we create. It looks like it worked, and it's chasing after him instead.
So,
Red team. Unable to get away.
so our Archons continually build guards when they're being chased by zombies. Probably they should just run. So in this map, there are a ton of parts in the center, and I bet a lot of the game will revolve around who can get them first. So a lot of them are under rubble. I have no idea how much. In this game, we're being very irresponsible global citizens, and we're letting the blue team clear up the zombie problem while we ignore it.
Looks like we've just let you sit in the lap of luxury in the middle while we do all the hard work.
That's absolutely right. We're parasites.
Shameless.
A nice aspect of this middle position is that all the rubble will probably make it hard for them to charge our turrets.
Yeah, we never had time to implement that, so we might try to charge in and just run into a wall of rubble. So that would be bad. Although it looks like there are some zombies on the map now. We'll see if they're strong enough, but it's probably not late enough.
If the zombies do come for us, the rubble may be a hindrance because it will make it difficult for us to run away.
So it looks like they have a large army advantage, and they're trying to corner our Archons now, but so far they've done an okay job of running away.
Oh, we're making up for our past sins by killing the final zombie den in the bottom right.
Thank you.
We're chasing a blue Archon to the top right corner, but these guys are so fit. Oh, they're going to collide.
Was that the same round? Might have been.
The Archons died almost simultaneously there. Actually, it must have been simultaneously.
Yeah, because it was the same engine.
We saw the animation.
Oh, yes.
If we can win this next match, we will consider it a victory no matter what, because we'll have taken at least 1 game off of Future Perfect.
These fast Vipers are doing a number on our soldiers. We got the neutral Archon, so at least we won't have an Archon disadvantage.
Yeah, so it looks like we have a slight army advantage for now. He's taking out that den in the top left. We haven't taken out any dens yet.
They've converted most of the initial neutral turrets on this map.
Yeah, we know, as Aaron said earlier, where we had a turtle strategy earlier, but we never had time to implement neutral turrets. So when we do activate neutral turrets, they run and stand in the middle and do nothing.
So we've got a force on the top and a force on the bottom fighting on 2 fronts.
Yeah, looks like Future Perfect with his with their good offensive turrets have managed to gain a large advantage, and so As we get near to the end of possibly the last match, I'd like to thank the devs for all their hard work in creating a great game this year.
Still.
Yeah, it looks like our Archons in the top right are getting cornered and will die very quickly.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was really scared of the wall. That's why it ran right into his forces.
So I have one last force on the bottom with one more Archon.
So it looks like his turrets are coming in again, and we don't have enough forces to counteract it. So we're going to get cornered again, and good game.
Good game.
Wow. Close fought match for the final one of this tournament. And ultimately we have Polar Vortex in second place and Future Perfect in first. So once again, congratulations to them.
And that'll do it for our tournament today.
Yeah. If you are the third place team, since we already have the top two here, we need you to come up here for logistic purposes. And other than that, thank you for coming.
And good night.
Yep.